Yeah.
What does it say?
Set elevation for next place template.
Someone's
Oh,
added the levels
exciting.
module.
I actually added it about, you know, however long ago you told me it existed, and I realised I hadn't activated it. And I was wondering why like nothing had popped up from it, and shockingly, that was why. Um, who would have thought that you actually have to activate the module to make it work? Um, yeah. So last time, as a quick recap, I suppose, you guys had been paid quite handsomely for your returning a relic to Israel. Had decided to ask around about the work that the Lord had let you know about, and had been sent on a journey with a new cart and some mules up towards the abandoned town of Botford, up in the Botford Forest to the north of Salia. Um, you're about you're about an hour and a half away from the from Lake Burma, which is the enormous lake that covers like kind of slightly above central portion of Salia, and had camped for the night, where a group of bandits seemed to roam through your campsite, and you engaged in a bit of a scuffle, um, emerged victorious. Some of you taking quite a lump from the bandit captain. You managed to keep one of the bandits alive with some non-lethal damage, and currently have him tied up, and are still just kind of chilling, I believe. Oh, it's changed, isn't it? That's annoying. Second, is that right? I installed I'm using like that simple calendar module, which is really neat. And I can't remember if this is set to the right time. I think it is. It's about midnight anyway, so that sounds about right.
Roughly
Um,
21 minutes past.
yeah, approximately. I'm assuming you guys should have access to the calendar
Yeah, on the left-hand
if I've
side
set
there's
that
a...
up right. Yeah, so on the left-hand side on the player thing, there is one of those buttons. Looks like a little calendar. If you hover over it, it will say calendar. And you should be able to open that up, and it will actually be a full calendar.
50-day month? Crikey.
Um, yeah, so the year is split into 4 50-day months. They are essentially more seasons than months. Um, but yeah, long old months. But yeah, you guys are kind of free to obviously do as you please. None of you have had a full long rest or anything at this point because you were interrupted. But you know, what do you guys do basically?
Go back to sleep.
Smart man,
Start attacking Cormac.
killing the dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems fair. That seems entirely justified. Uh,
How weak is he?
yeah, you're not gonna kill him. It's fine.
Oh, he has more health than me. Wait, wait, what? Which one? No, he doesn't.
You forget which way round your tokens were.
Yeah, I don't know whose token's here. I think
How
the
much health
bottom
are you
one's
on, Cody?
Cormac's. How much health are you on?
No, how much health are you on?
21?
Guess what? I'm on
What?
22.
Oh, okay.
Some of us didn't get
Definitely,
hit.
he's definitely lying. But yeah, some of you did come out of that a bit more unscathed than others. But yeah, you do currently have a currently unconscious bandit tied up um, in with you guys. So, what are you doing with him?
I mean, it's up to the monk.
Yeah, if you want to keep these guys alive, Scritch, I suggest you tell us what we should do.
Oh, I just suggest tie them up. Take weapons away. They don't deserve to die.
Yeah, but what if they run back and tell like someone, and then we all get imprisoned again? Do you get your kit taken away again?
I think that's a risk worth taking, personally.
Okay.
You just leave him tied up without any weapons or anything, yeah?
I'll probably try to lecture them as well.
I mean, yeah, they're currently unconscious. If you want to try and find and take away their weapons from their person, I guess give them a thorough search to make sure they've got no weapons. You do find like a couple of like daggers and stuff tucked away in bits of the armor and things, but you're pretty certain you kind of managed to disarm them as well as have them tied up, and they are currently still unconscious, but likely will, you know, wake up at some point. Are you guys just gonna go back to sleep, or?
Yeah.
Cool. So, I guess after about 10-15 minutes of you guys kind of going back to your tents, your bedrolls, whatever, and lying back down again and chilling out for a second after a fight, you hear a call come from where you left the bandit. Have you gagged them as well, or are they able to talk?
No.
They're able to talk, yeah.
I did not remember to do that.
Yeah. So you hear a call out, and you hear this voice calling out. You hear, excuse me, can you can this is awfully difficult. You wouldn't let me go, would you?
No. I'm more asleep, so.
Yeah, I mean you're not currently stood over with the guy at this point.
Who's
Yeah,
awake?
I mean, depends how quickly people fall asleep. That is entirely up to you guys. But
So
it's
how
been about
minutes was
10
it?
minutes. It's been about
Well,
10 minutes, so
I guess by the time you get into bed and stuff, probably just awake. I ignore it. I'm close to falling asleep, and I'm kind of annoyed.
you kind of
Wasn't Scritch, Brannon, and Sean doing the watch?
Not at this point. It's too early, right?
yeah, I was gonna say they did start the watch, and Aaron and you were sleeping, and then obviously they spotted these bandits coming in.
Was it early run? Okay, fine. Sorry, I can't remember which round it was.
Yeah, so like you three haven't had any rest yet, like at all. The other guys got a couple hours of rest, but not quite enough, obviously, to get the long rest for Aaron. But
How does this work now? Like, if everyone wants to go back to sleep, how long does he need to sleep for to get a long rest?
4 hours.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, because it's been interrupted by like a significant activity, like fighting and getting nearly killed. It would certainly require another full 4 hours.
Well, in that case, I guess we need to discuss what our plan is rather than just we can't go back to what we were doing before. We need to figure out a different plan, right?
It's up to you guys.
I mean, it's everybody else.
My preference is sleeping.
I want to sleep.
It's up to you guys. Yeah, you can all just go to sleep, like, and have no one on watch, or have no one on watch
I
for a
got
few
woke
hours.
up for 20 seconds and literally just went back to sleep.
Yeah, I feel like you have done probably little to actually get yourself back from like your sleep state, considering you haven't left the back of the cart.
Is that your excuse for putting me to sleep earlier?
He was just
fell in the
woken
same
up. He was
spot
half
two
asleep.
times in a row.
Yeah. He just kind of like that launched it over that. But yeah, if you guys are resting up, I need to make a couple of rolls if no one is taking watches, but that's fine.
I don't approach adventure. I'm not an adventure pro, so I just do what everyone else does. If everyone else wants to go to sleep, that's okay by me.
Apparently, I made that role as Aaron. Go me. Um, yeah, I mean, you guys are all you kind of bed back down, and you kind of have to drown out the noise of this bandit who keeps kind of calling out to you guys as you're kind of nearby and keeps calling out and going. It's really quite rude to leave someone tied up like this without really explaining what's going on. I mean, you guys did attack first. Hello? Hello? Just over and over again. I don't know if anyone gets up and does anything, but if not, you may take a long rest.
Wait, did we attack first?
You guys, Sean did attack first, yeah.
Right.
Sean ran in and attacked. And then, Aaron killed a dog.
I
Well,
just
yeah.
shut up.
If Stubbs wants to be a good guy, then I guess this is a prime example of not always hitting first. Sometimes you want to ask questions first.
This is true.
Rarely, but sometimes.
Rarely, yeah. Sean, do you want to make an intimidation check for me as you shout out to this guy to
Yeah.
shut up?
Am I intimidation?
You are, yeah. Yeah, he very promptly stops calling out and just kind of sits. You hear a huff. Anyone that's close enough here, he just kind of huffs and just leans back against like the tree branch that you've propped him up by. But yeah, anyone and everyone can take a long rest if they wish. The rest of the night goes relatively smooth. No kind of unknowns creep up on you or anything, so. Cool. That's set. Yeah. I can't set it to daytime on this map. That's not how this works. That's upsetting. Is there something I can do here? No. Damn it! I don't have an effect that will make it look like daytime, sadly. I apologize. But yeah, the morning comes. You guys are rested. I can just go forward. 8 hours is approximately 8:31 in the morning.
Approximately.
Approximately.
Cool. One of the first things I'm going to do when I wake up is go and see this bandit.
Yeah. He has somewhat managed to rest, I suppose, and is no longer dead at least. Even though he still shows as dead on his token. Ignore that. But he is just kind of sat there, just arms and legs kind of bound, just up against this tree stump, just kind of slumped there like. And he looks up at you as you come over and he goes, "Finally, are you gonna let me go now, or?"
I apologise for tying him up.
Well, I mean, I understand,
Why did you attack us? Who did you work for?
You attacked us.
What?
We were just coming through.
I don't think so. When I got to the fight, you were already fighting. I'm sure we wouldn't have attacked you first.
Well, there was that enormous brute of a Goliath that you've got with you, and he came in and started swinging, and
Really?
then your friend killed our dog.
I'm
Yeah,
very sorry about that.
and then you killed everyone else.
Why did you sneak up on our camp?
We weren't sneaking. This is we walk through here.
Oh,
This is our path.
what's your name?
Well, not anymore, I suppose. What's my name?
Yeah,
Priel.
Prial. What did you do, Prial?
Well, little bit of, I suppose, unsavory work, but I just got to earn some money.
What does
I'm not in it for the long term, you know, just for some money.
and so what business were did five heavily armed people have walking through this forest
Well,
last night? What are you
yeah,
doing?
we kind of were gonna try and con some travelers.
I'm gonna insight check all this, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. You can make an insight check.
That's fairly
So close. In animation, at least.
It is very hard to get a read on them. They seem quite like they seem like they've certainly had a long time to like focus on what they're gonna say. So it's hard to tell if like it looks practiced, if it is a lie.
Yeah, it's just one left, right?
He is the only one left. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your com?
Oh well, we
At this point, I'm gonna grab some food as well, like just a bit of my rations, like a bit of
Yeah.
bread or something, and offer it to him.
He goes, well, we find that the travelers that go on this path, they don't normally know what they're doing, so we pretend to, know something and fix something on their cart that was broken or things like that, and then they pay us for that, and then we normally break something on their cart, and then we can take stuff from them when they leave it behind.
Why do you have so many weapons?
Because people get violent. We've only got we're only one weapon each, like.
Did you not have a couple of swords? Did you not say you had a couple of knives with him and
A
stuff?
couple of them. Yeah, he had a couple of like knives stashed into him, but he clearly has not realised you've taken them. Uh,
I pat him on the side where his knife was.
and he
say,
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, only one weapon.
Well, yes. I mean, I've got to keep a couple of extras to protect myself, haven't I, in case of an emergency?
Mm-hmm. So what are you gonna do now? All your buddies are dead.
Suppose go home.
Where's home?
Oh, I'm from Hatford.
Hatford.
Yeah.
Wait a second, I need to look at the map because I feel like Hatford's a long way away from where we are, but I can't remember. And the map takes forever to load.
It's not miles away. Well, it is literally miles away, yeah, but it's probably the closest town to where you are.
1 second. How far away is it roughly, like travel wise?
In a straight line from where you guys are, about 24 miles.
Which is how long? 3 miles. 3 miles an hour?
3 miles an hour, yeah, it's a few days' travel.
He says Hatford. Can I just stare at him?
No, it's days travel, right? It's 8 hours.
Yeah,
24
sorry,
20
yeah, 24 miles.
days.
Yeah. Just over
So,
a day's travel.
Wait a second. So you live in Hatford, but you're a day's travel away from it, in the middle of the night, walking through some woods, and you mean to say that all you're doing is just an innocent light conning, some friendly conning?
Yeah, I live in Hatford. I don't always get to be there.
Can I insight check like this part of the conversation, not like whether he was conning or not, but like whether he's lying about where he lives and
Yeah, go for
yeah.
Yeah, you can make an
Oh,
insight check.
that is not the right. Yeah, so I don't want information about what I previously insight checked.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
trying to like game
I mean,
systems.
it's going brilliantly for you.
It doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be, as far as you can tell, telling the truth. It's hard to get a read on him, but as far as you can tell, that he's got no reason to be lying at this point.
Can I not interrupt the conversation when he says about Hatford?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, so what part are you from?
He's, I'm
And
from
do
the
I
lower.
recognise him?
I'm from the lower slums area of Hatford. Not the fancy side of it. Make a perception check, I guess, to see if you recognise him. Yeah, I mean, you don't recognise him. There's a lot of people live in Hatford, especially the lower income side of it. It's a very, very packed area, like residential area. It'd be hard to remember a singular face from it. So no, you don't recognise him. But the lower slums is an area of Hatford you are aware of.
I asked him if he's got a family, what's in Hatford for him.
my missus is there, and we've got a little one. I just thought there's not really a lot of other work. You know, gotta do what you gotta do, haven't you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna leave them tied up and walk away, have some breakfast. Talk to the others.
He kind of, as you start walking, goes, oh, okay.
Ark sends it down, and I'm like, oh, do you know the Golden Dragon?
That's the tavern on the east side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of it. I can't say I go very often. I'm not in Hatford all that much. Don't get to go there all that much at the moment, you know.
Fun times. Good
Well,
old
it's meant to be
bakery,
good.
there's best.
It's meant to be pretty decent. You know. I've heard they get some good crowds going in there.
That's where I play normally. That's where I normally work, in the old Golden Dragon.
He looks up and goes, "Oh, you're from Hatford."
Yeah.
He kind of he spends like a second actually like studying you at this point. See if he can like, I don't know, put a name to the face at all. But he seems to be struggling to actually like fully recognize you. He's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, mate. I wish I'd recognised you. I wish I could say I knew you, but hey, it's a good little town, isn't it? You know. It's
So
not-
how do you know this lot that you're with?
Oh, well, I knew them. They're well, like-minded individuals, I suppose. I just got dragged into it, really. I knew one of them that's not here, and they introduced me because I said I needed the work and that. So
I did not have it.
I just get up and walk off.
what? Okay. I'll stay sat here.
I'm gonna chat to the others, like away from him, in like the campfire like area or something.
That is easily doable. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and ask him what they want to do about him. I'll tell them what he told me. You know, it seems like he's being genuine at least.
I say we release him. We'll keep his weapons and let him go his way.
Yeah, right.
He can't harm anybody else like that.
Yep, I agree.
Muscles? Good talking to you, bud.
Oh, I was on mute. Yeah. What? Sorry.
You happy with us keeping his weapons but setting him free?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
When you bring Sean into the conversation, I'm going to raise the point that Sean attacked first. I ask him, did you attack first?
I did attack first because I wanted to keep the dog, but someone decided to kill
Wait.
the dog.
So you thought it was acceptable to attack and kill people just to steal their dog?
Yeah.
What if you weren't to kill the owner, then maybe the dog would like you more.
What's your alignment?
Whose?
Is
Sean's.
folk hero true neutral.
You're not true neutral.
That's fine. It's just in the middle.
You can't be true neutral and like literally want to kill people to steal their dog.
He likes dogs.
Well, maybe the owners didn't look good.
Yeah, but what? You could have just went up to them and asked, "Hey, could I have your dog?" You,
You
Hey, it must
could.
it wouldn't
defense.
work, I know, but
In Muscles'
You can be
defense,
quiet.
five
You
guys
killed the
creeping up on
dog.
us in our sleep.
I killed the dog because I was woken up and I didn't know what to do, so I just killed the closest thing to you.
Kill an animal every time you wake up?
At
No,
this
but I'm just annoyed.
at this point, I'm going to say something like some sort of like mystical monkly teaching about not always attacking. But I don't know what it is because I'm not a monk and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But something, the kind of thing that someone would say that is like some mystical teaching, a proverb or something about sometimes attacking is the best way of dealing with things. Not attacking, sorry, is the best way of dealing with things.
I'll just sort of, not necessarily outwardly roll my eyes, but I just sort of lean into muscles. I just say, don't beat yourself up. Some people just don't understand the wilds.
I will look at you as if to say, "Shut up."
Oh,
I know. I don't know it. I know it. I don't know, but it's still not right.
Heidi, why didn't you just buy a dog from Sean? Why didn't you just buy a dog from the marketplace? They probably sold a dog. Pet shop.
Well, you see, dogs cost money.
And you have
money,
money.
I have money, but normal, not non-stray dogs cost a lot of money.
Did he?
That is canon now in this world. Dogs are one of
The
the
dungeon
most
world
expensive
approach.
things. Yeah, that is now canon.
Thanks,
Well,
Cody.
In that case, Erin literally cost us thousands of pounds of gold. We could have sold it on for like thousands of gold.
Now,
I
if
know-
you're thinking about selling it, I would just kill you now if the dog didn't die.
Can I have permission to skin
Whoa!
What,
This
the dog?
conversation escalated.
it?
I mean,
um,
you can.
that
I
was a
don't know if
joke.
you should.
Just for information, that was a joke. Well, why don't you go and buy a dog if you want one so badly? Save up your pennies.
How much does the dog cost in this world?
How much? I
Probably.
mean, that depends on the dog.
Just like that mastiff. How much would that mastiff cost to buy?
I mean, it depends where you're getting it from, but
Oh my.
anywhere between kind of 30 to 50 gold, probably.
Oh,
for
no,
I want to
not
buy a
that
dog.
much.
Come on, let's go. I want to buy a dog. I wanna buy a
Cody.
dog.
On an
For God's
unrelated
sake.
note, I saw a guy at hospital today who'd had his calf bit clean through by an Alsatian. It was horrific.
That's disgusting.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Is everything okay?
Yeah, yeah. Lizzie, fainted and hit her head, but she's all cool.
Okay, good. That's horrendous, though. That must have
It
been
was
very
nasty.
painful.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
Yeah.
But
Ow.
Lizzie or the man?
The man. The man who got attacked by an Alsatian.
Okay.
Oh, that is, yeah, right through. Because the calf is like a big, juicy muscle as well.
It was pretty mean. Yeah, his
Yeah.
leg looked pretty screwed.
Yeah, there's not much left of the calf on that point. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Enough of that. I need to get an image out of my head.
Where can I buy a dog nearest? Where's the
I mean-
nearest dog store?
You were at a big town. You are now in the middle of nowhere. There's
We're
probably
here, right?
unlikely to
Oh.
be anywhere.
Well,
think we're
when
like-
will I next reach a big town to buy said dog?
Uh,
Next time you choose to go to one.
Probably quite a while away because where we're going is known to be deserted. It might not be. We might get there. Might be a thriving village, but it's
A
known to be
thriving dog
deserted.
trade.
Yeah. And the next town around, unfortunately, Salia's very not very inhabited, as the next
Well-
town is a day's travel behind us.
Well, if the next town's deserted, I don't care how long. If I have to leave you guys, I will go back.
Yeah, I think we could. Wait, you can go back now.
Well, if that town's said deserted.
Wait, we don't know if it was deserted or not. We have no idea.
Yeah,
I think
if
it is deserted,
If it is,
yeah.
if it is, I go and then I go back.
Muscles, you've got my word. We'll find you a dog at Botford.
Yeah, you need to worry about, like if it's deserted, we're gonna go back ourselves. So
Okay, thank you.
first it's iron doors, now it's dogs.
also, yeah, it's fine. You can, but like also it's fine. But like out of character, if you want to do that, then it's gonna be really annoying for Jake to have to do like a 4-day campaign for you to go back and find a dog whilst we're also running a campaign.
yeah.
You just leave our voice chat and go to different voice chat and stuff.
Sit there for 4 sessions
Yeah, I mean
all alone.
it's fine. You can do that, but it might be a bit annoying.
Okay.
Well, a lot of work for Jake.
Please
Poor
don't.
guy. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's it.
You
Well,
can
then
get
make
a
the
dog,
time not
but
disaster.
please don't wander off on your own.
We'll probably find you a dog. Like
Jake's
the dogs.
frantically designing a pet shop now for Botford.
Yeah, Botford is just deserted other than one pet shop, which is still mysteriously open, and no one knows why. It's because it's run by the Fae. That's why. Fae pet shop.
There'll be a dog there with no teeth.
It'd be a mimic.
And sells blink dogs.
Ooh, that's a pet.
Blink dogs are fun. Cool. Well, what are you guys doing then? Are you gonna Are you gonna release said bandit, or what?
Yeah, I take his weapons, and we're going to keep the weapons, or just I don't really want them. I'm happy to just smash them. In fact, I might even suggest that maybe Sean smashes them to sort of as a slight intimidation tactic.
Break the weapons.
But Brandon, I think, had different ideas of keeping them. So
I'm not attached to them. I just don't. I think we don't leave them with him.
oh yeah, 100%.
Breakaway muscles.
Can I say I'll break the weapons in a bush and then keep the weapons secretly?
No, because I'm suggesting you break them in front of him,
Yeah,
very
that might not
visibly.
work.
Okay, I'll break it in front of them.
So you come over and you break his.
Break a couple, just
that
break one in front
scimitar
of
that
him,
he
then
has.
keep the others.
And can you make a? What are you breaking it with? Just with your own brute force, or
Yeah,
make a strength?
unarmed
check for
strike.
me then.
Come on, that
Go
20
for it.
muscles.
Get wrecked.
That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah, you kind of bring down your fist onto the side of the blade of his scimitar that he was carrying, and it just shatters straight down the middle. And he kind of looks over and goes, okay, that seems a bit unnecessary. Why are you doing that?" And you can see he looks a bit visibly taken back by it.
I tell him that the path to a clear heart is not through the sword. I finally thought of something which sounded significantly monkey.
Very
And
monkey.
yeah.
You can take an inspiration for that.
Oh, thank you. I am going to give him. How do I do that? Where's inspiration?
Should be a thing on your sheet to mark
Yes,
it.
yeah, I got it.
you
Then I
can
give
use to give yourself advantage on a roll.
I give him a day's rations and 10 gold. I give him day's rations 10 gold and say, here are some rations to make sure you get back, and I want you to spend this 10 gold only on your family.
He looks at you, goes, "Very, very kind, sir. Very kind, sir. I do apologise again for the
It's too late now. It's too late now. But make one final insight check to see whether he's genuinely thankful or he
Go
thinks,
for it,
haha,
yeah.
I've got him
Go
mugged.
for it.
His roll of 20. Oh, that's better.
It is better. Yeah, he seems to be being open and honest about everything he's saying about his kind of whole. He is glad to be being set free. Like you have no reason to doubt his intentions.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I tell him that again, something you should focus on doing good things and good things. Yeah, karmic justice. Good things will come to you. Spend this money on your family. Treat them well. Treat your wife well. Find a new career.
He looks over to Sean, who's got obviously these daggers and stuff from as well, and he kind of points over to just one of the daggers that Sean's carrying. It's slightly more ornate looking than the rest. He goes, "Can I please just have that one back? It was my dad's."
Can I scare him?
How
Give it to him.
how do you scare him? If you want to explain how you attempt to scare him, then we can roll for it.
Well, when he's saying that, I just suddenly jump at him.
Jump at him.
Yeah.
It's Monsters
What? Just
Inc.
jump straight. To
No. I just make him I make him scared.
Okay, roll an intimidation check for me then.
Okay.
Yeah, you make him jump a little bit. Not like he doesn't jump out of his skin or anything. It's an okay attempt at intimidating him. But he still does ask. He asks for that one dagger back, if that's allowed.
I don't know.
You should just give it.
I look at Brandon.
I don't know, and I don't mind.
It's not a problem.
I'm not keen.
Whatever, Siri.
I'm not keen on arming thieves in general.
Yeah, but that's his father's. I mean, he could be lying.
Yeah, he could be lying. Just like he could be lying about just what happening upon us whilst going for a walk with his buddies.
Yeah, I know, but all of us could be lying. We don't know. We barely know anything about each other.
You have to forgive me for not being too keen on your opinion right now, Taxidermy.
Yeah, I will because I sort of look at you, Brandon, like with like a look that says like, oh, maybe we should, but I'm not sure if this is about. This sounds like it might be a bad idea, and you say no, and so I will also say no. I will say something like you should really focus on not using weapons.
How about we meet him in the middle? Next time Muscles passes through Hatford, he'll find you and return the dagger then to you and your family.
Oh, what was his name? Oh, you told me earlier, but
For me to hand it back to him.
I've forgotten.
If you go back, and I'll leave it at the dragon.
Prayel.
How much? Sorry, what was that?
Lots of people were talking. What's up?
What was his name again? Sorry.
Prayel.
How do you spell that?
Preil.
Preil. Cool.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It doesn't matter who has it, right? Whenever we as a party or someone else, whenever the next person we know of travels through Hatford, you can have it back.
He goes, I mean, it's not ideal, but I'll take it. I understand I'm not in a bargaining point in this discussion. I just please don't destroy it. It's quite important to me, family heirloom and all. And he looks over to Gilbert. And he goes, you let me know. I'll swing by the Golden Dragon and I'll meet you there.
Just ask the little halfling.
The little halfling. Okay, will do.
At a moment.
Your father.
As opposed to the big halfling.
Your father, he's still around?
No, I'm afraid not, sir. Not anymore.
Cool.
He looks a bit upset, I suppose. Emotion, whatever.
Whatever. Cool. Yeah, I say we let him loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you kind of release the bindings on him, he kind of thanks the lot of you quite profusely, and very quickly grabs like the rations and the gold that you put down and like scarpers off in the other direction towards. Well, it's got westward, so that would be towards Hatford at least. So he either is going to Hatford or he knows which way to go to make it look like he's going to Hatford. But yeah, it is around 9 in the morning. What do you guys like to do?
I'm going to just make a point to the rest of the party that we could have easily killed that person, and their wife would have been left destitute. The lack of income in the family, they may have children, and instead we've hopefully turned their life around and sent them on their way, and hopefully we have brought more good into the world through our actions without killing. Maybe we should stop killing people so often. And I'll say that I understand that not everybody can be saved, and not everybody can be reasoned with, and not everyone should be allowed to live. But needlessly cutting throats is not always a good thing. To
I don't
which
really care.
you could not care. That's absolutely fine. However, one thing I will contend: if you don't care, you're likely to be probably not very true neutral, and you're definitely edging towards evil of some description.
I'll
As a fellow resident from the lower parts of Hatford, I do feel his situation of going into the unsavoury things from that area. It's not the greatest place to live, and it is rather hard to live. As myself, as an orphan, I know what it's like to lose a parent in there. But then again, every time you leave that area in this world and where you're from, you may never come back alive.
We should offer those people most in need a hand rather than a blade.
In that same sense, they could have been killers and they could have slit us while we were sleeping.
Absolutely.
So you've always got to be defensive on that same sense.
Brandon just sort of not even sarcastically, sort of like slaps or pats Scritch on the shoulder, and just says, "You done good."
I done neutral good.
Never turn your back on those sort of people, Scritch.
Following my
That is sage advice, I'm sure. Thank you.
my character's grieving at the moment after the dog's death.
You never owned the dog. Just buy one. You have enough.
Also,
I'll buy you
like
one if you don't have enough
Sean's
money.
heading to evilness, taking a dark path.
We're going dog shopping then, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing next? Dog shopping
Is it
episode.
a shopping session, but only for
Yeah.
dogs?
But only specifically for dogs. As you just wander down the road, you find a dog shop. That would be fun, wouldn't it? But yeah, you guys kind of from your best guess would say you're about an hour and a half away from like the bridge, or from the bridges known as the floating bridges of Burma, which are bridges that kind of cross over a large portion of Lake Burma.
Yeah.
Like you can go round the lake, or you can go along the normal trade route, which would go across the bridges. Considering where you are, I'm assuming no one is opposed to going along the bridges, but
Fine.
No. In fact, I get quite excited by the time we get like near the bridges because I've never been there, but I've heard stories of it.
yeah. Yeah, do you guys just set off, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'll just sit on any position I've been sat on probably every time in the cart, kind of like at the back of it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, you guys kind of head off, kind of get back onto the path. Obviously, you're slightly off the track last night, and you head back onto the path and make your way slowly. You spend about it's about an hour and a half before you basically get to it slowly goes uphill. Oh, my camera's off. It slowly goes uphill towards the lake, essentially, which seems a bit weird because lakes are normally down low. But you kind of make your way up and up and up, and you actually get to the top of this hill, and you can see over the edge. You're actually up, essentially, on the top of a cliff edge, and you can see over the edge of it this view that just spans the entirety of this enormous lake. You can see two smaller islands on the lake in the distance, which you assume to be Burr Major and Burr Minor. And you can see off to your right as the path follows along these four large pillars of natural stone that kind of jut out of the lake up a good couple of 100 feet up above the lake, with these wooden bridges suspended across each gap between it. These enormous, massively well constructed wooden bridges. And yeah, the first bridge is like a few minutes travel probably up the road from where you are. You also see a small hut just up the road, just off to the side of the road slightly.
What makes these bridges floating bridges? Is it that they're always out of service?
That's quite a good one.
Joke.
That would have been a good Isle of Wight joke to throw in there.
Yeah. But seriously, what makes them float? Because all bridges are floating in some respect. Like, in fact, they
Yeah,
go over.
it's like it's somewhat of a play on kind of making them sound fancier than they are. They're sold as almost like a tourist attraction.
Right.
In a lot of places, like you would hear stories of the glory of the floating bridges of Burma, when
Right.
in reality it's just a bunch of like planks and stuff suspended across these large stone pillars. The formation of it is quite interesting for these like large pillars to be jutting out of the lake like this. But you know, they are not actually they're not actually floating off of anything. Although technically, I guess bridges kind of are. But
Cool.
yeah, they're just fancy. I suppose I can. Right, cool. Yeah, so you kind of make your way up the road towards, and this hut like comes into view, like along the right hand side of the road. And as you make your way up and get closer and closer to it, you can actually see what looks to be some kind of like booth on the side of it, with like
Pet
these
store.
open windows. Um,
The pet store.
and you see what looks to be some kind of figure sat inside the booth at the side of the road, and he hears like the mules kind of walking along this kind of gravelly path and the turning of the cartwheels as it goes along it. You see him perk up and he looks over. You can see it's like a young dwarven gentleman. But he looks over and he calls out. He goes, who goes there? Who wishes to travel on the wondrous bridges, the floating bridges of Burma? Who is this? Who's here?
Sky's blessings, friend. Good
And to
morning.
you too, and to you too. I don't know what that means, but yes, Sky's blessings to you, my friend. Are you here to see the majesty of the floating bridges of Burma?
We're just passing through. But passing through the bridges, we thought we might as well come this way.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. A traveller. We love travellers, you see. We love. I am responsible for maintaining part of the bridges. Of course, we keep them at the utmost wonderful condition to make travellers such as yourself able to pass by without any kind of trouble. There is a small fee to cross the bridges, as I'm sure you're aware. You know, it's very well advertised on your approach up to the bridges. And you see him, he looks over at your party, goes, it's 20 gold, and then looks over your party more, and goes,
What's your name, friend?
Jason.
Jason.
He
Jason
goes,
who?
Jason, don't do this to me. Barnard.
Where are you from, Jason? God,
Oh, I'm from. This is my house here. I'm from round here.
oh, you're not from Israel.
Oh no. I was once, but you know, work on the bridges, live by the bridges. You know.
On that note, have you seen
Bridges.
some dwarfs go in the last few months across this bridge?
Now I'm afraid I'm bound by strict bridge client confidentiality. I can't disclose who
Can
passes
I
by.
can I go up to him and
British
say,
Graphic Oath.
can I try and intimidate him to tell me if there have been any dwarven folks that have gone on the bridge recently?
How do you intimidate him?
I say, tell me if there's been any dwarfs, or we will fight.
Yeah, he looks over at you as you kind of lumber over to him, and he was sat down in a chair, and he stands up from his chair inside his booth, and you see he is built like a brick shithouse, and he is this enormous like dwarf fellow, and he goes, "Now, lad, I suggest you watch the tone."
Whilst
And
that's
back it up.
happening, can I just can I sort of just try and see if there's any kind of like maybe like a log or a record, just if there's anything obvious where it seems like he might be noting like ticket sales, people.
What,
coming
like have a
and
look
stuff.
inside his booth whilst he's there, or
Yeah, but
you guys are up near it, so yeah, you
Yeah.
can subtly do that if you like. Yeah, make a perception check for me.
How big is the booth?
Not very. It's
Not very,
about
yeah.
it's about 10 foot square.
How big is the island?
Which island?
The island that we're on.
You
no,
guys are
we're on the-
on the
on the
pier at the
coast.
moment.
Yeah,
How
here,
close are we near to the water?
A
fairly.
a couple 100 feet probably.
Can I? Oh, no, don't.
Don't throw him in the water. He will beat you
Yeah,
up.
Brannon, you managed to spot. He does seem to have some kind of like leather-bound book on the side there. It's not open or anything, but you can see it has on there on there like whole log essentially.
I'll after he responds to Sean's intimidation, I will change the tone a little bit, and I'll just say you'll have to excuse my my Goliath friend here. He's a bit keen for a fight, but mostly we're here to see the bridges themselves. Maybe a man with your sort of experience might be able to maybe show us, just give us a bit of info on the bridges, maybe some insider information.
Yeah, he goes, well, I can understand being ready for a fight, big man like himself likes to prove himself. He's just in the wrong place for it, if you
Oh,
understand
I'll
me.
prove myself. Come on, let's fight. No.
I wouldn't recommend fighting this guy.
Yeah, I turn to him and say, Sean, remember remember the teachings earlier.
But yeah, he looks over to Brandon, as he's talking to Brandon, he goes, I don't personally offer tours or anything, of course. They are a sight that is best taken in by your own eyes at your own speed. But I can offer some insight into the bridges themselves, if that's what you're after. It does come at a price, of course.
Well, maybe I could. I'd be happy to pay if you could just maybe show us the view and name each of the 4 islands, possibly.
Otherwise, that's what I say. I figured out what I said.
Do you mean the 4 islands that the bridges are built
Yeah.
on? He goes, they have many names. This is the thing. You have to kind of see what happens. Many people have given it different names across the years, but I couldn't possibly disclose such incredible information without compensation first, of course.
Well, you're clearly a man who understands the value of knowledge. So tell me what your knowledge is worth.
Well, how about you? The toll for going across the bridges is 20 gold per person. So how about we bump that up to 40 gold per person, and I share some knowledge with you.
Wait, was it just 30 gold total just a second ago?
Not a car, we can just go around.
Someone came up and tried to intimidate him. He might have raised the price.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
He
pay.
he wasn't best pleased about being intimidated.
How much is the price?
Brannon pays the 200 gold.
No. I suggest that Sean should probably be made to pay it.
I'm not
No,
paying
Brannon pays the 200 gold.
Fantastic. He goes, fantastic. A wondrous man of the money. I approve. I very much approve. So what was it you wished to know?
That third one, in particular, like it looks like the larger of the 4. Maybe you could just tell us a bit more about it.
The third one from us, yes.
This one over here, and I'll purposely sort of move away, so I'm sort of pointing in a direction where he'd have to come out to sort of have a look for us.
Yeah, and he kind of steps. He he tries to look out of his booth, and he's struggling to see what he's struggling to see where you're pointing. He goes, 1 second, and steps up again from his chair and swings open the door to the side of the booth and kind of steps out. And he goes, and he looks over to where you're looking, and he goes, that one. It's that's Calicum Isle. That's what we call it anyway.
I'm gonna I sort of nudge Scritch, and I just point over again. I go, actually, Scritch, was it the 4th one you were interested in, right?
No. Actually, well, I know something about this place. I'm going to ask him I'm oblivious. You have to nudge me. I'm gonna do this anyway. I'm excited. Like you need to nudge. Like yeah. I'm asking if you can see the city.
The city?
The city. I heard that you can see it in the lake sometimes.
Oh, you must have heard of the legends of the sunken city of Burma.
Yeah, I want
I
to see it.
see a man of knowledge you are, and he steps actually around properly, and he takes you by the shoulder scritch, and he walks you over to basically the cliff edge. And he points down into the lake, and it's an enormous, enormous lake, and he starts regaling this story of there was this city. That yes, you can, Shane, if you like, as he's
I was going to
regaling a
cast
story.
invisibility, but if he's left, I probably don't need to
He
do
has
that.
wandered. He has walked away from the booth at this point. Yeah.
I
But
just go in there and read his thing, like stealthily.
sure, yeah, yeah. Make a stealth check as he's regaling this city, and he points out to a point in the lake, pretty central actually, in Lake Burma, and he goes, Now, I've only heard stories of this. Of course, it is just a legend. But they say if you look hard enough in the right light and look at that central point, you'll see the spire of the tower of the castle from the ancient city of Burma that crashed into the lake years ago. He seems very excited that someone has asked him about this story.
I get quite excited
Um,
about this. I'm going to ask him if he knows how did it fly? How did it float the island, the city?
oh well, there was a very interesting magic that was employed. It was, oh, okay, it was a golden age city, so the magic was rife, of course, and they'd perfected the art of these wonderful mechanisms that would generate enough force to keep it afloat. They would alter the power of gravity itself to keep these cities afloat. Again, of course, just a legend, but wonderful stuff if you believe in it. And I have to say, I have been tempted multiple times to go into that lake, but I've heard the waters aren't too welcoming.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, there's well, as there's tales of wonder, there's tales of woe as well, and there are supposedly some rather nasty beasties that call it home.
What, do you mean you mean like gigantic monsters like Loch Ness type things? Not. Is that what?
Yes, something.
This is our characters, right? Just get
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Like there is some kind of monstrous creatures that roam this lake. He seems to think.
Yeah, cool. Who lived here? Do you know who lived here? I know. I say like I explained that I come from the monastery. If you may have heard of us. And so I've read loads of ancient texts, and it does get mentioned sometimes, but there's not very much in the text I've been reading about it. I've always wanted to learn more. I asked him like who lived there.
Oh, what on the city of Burma?
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid you are talking to the wrong person for this. I'm not quite a historian about much about that city, other than that I personally believe it existed, but of course its existence is called into question by some people.
Can I insight check that? When he said like it might not be real,
Yeah.
and that he believes it, can I insight check whether he does actually believe it or whether he's just trying to sell the story for a bit of money, kind of thing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, make an insight check. Yeah, he seems to firmly believe that it is the truth.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Um,
I thank him and say like I've read wonders of it, and I've always wanted to see. And I'll say thank you for pointing out this thing. I'm sure that I'll keep an eye on it whilst I go across the river.
he goes, my pleasure, my pleasure. Hey, I did hear, by the way, though, there is obviously a lot of intrigue about this thing. Those Central Order fellas, that have moved in over on Pilteria, they're planning an expedition, so we might get some more answers soon.
That's very interesting. How's my central order again? Is it S or C?
S.
S.
I didn't want to interrupt, but while that was all going on, where did what did he do with the money? Did he pocket it, or has he got some kind of storage?
He did pocket the money,
That's
yeah.
So they're going expedition to the lake, yeah.
That is what the gist of what he seems to pass on.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
they've got some kind of expedition into the lake.
Hmm.
Anyway, yeah,
Question mark.
you managed to sneakily because he rolled a natural one for his perception check, you do manage to sneakily get a look in the book. Are you looking just for the name of
The
like
names is what they told me of who we were looking for.
Oh, I tip him a gold, by the way.
He is very, very grateful. Very,
Mainly
very
like
grateful.
dates and when they come past this way, and if they did come past this way.
Yeah, so there is like the names of a group of that all came through in one group. It is just listed down there as Israel soldiers, but that is listed to have come through this direction about 2.5 months ago. Not 2.5 months, sorry, it's changed now. I've actually got a calendar. About yeah, 2.5 months is way too long.
Yeah.
About 40 or so days ago.
Okay. And how long ago were they told they left? Did they tell us when they left? I can't remember. I can look it up if you want, but I can't remember if I wrote it down.
Yeah, you would have been said it was about a month they'd been gone.
A month. And a month is
A month
how
is
many
50
days?
50 days.
50 days. Okay, that kind of... Wait, no, that doesn't make sense, does it? They said this took them 10 days to walk.
We took a car.
Yeah, but it's all like, well, our cart's slow.
Yeah, it's approximate. Like they said they left a month ago doesn't mean
Oh,
they
right,
necessarily
okay,
left
fine.
exactly a month ago.
Yeah, so they could have left 42 days ago.
Yeah.
Ish, yeah, cool.
That would
okay.
still round up to a month.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah. All right, lovely.
But yeah, you do see that they came through. They have definitely not come back. There is no entry of them coming back, it would seem. Actually, if anyone that is reading through this book tries this, make an investigation check. I don't know if it's just Gilbert or if Brannon's reading as well, but yeah, Gilbert, you find these names and you feel content in what you've found in there. Brannon, you actually looking there are no like records in here of people coming the other direction. They all seem to be like outwards.
The thing I was more interested in, more than even the dwarfs, actually, I wanted to see how many people were actually using the bridges. Like, how often?
There are, in the last month, there are the dwarves that came through, and a handful of other names in there, maybe 5 or 6 other names in that last month that have come over the bridge. So, not a whole load of people are travelling this way.
I pull out my little coin I got before we go, when he goes to put names and say we're from the Israel soldier thing. We've been sent on a mission to find some soldiers. That's who to put us down as.
Yeah, he looks over. He looks over to you as you say this, and he goes, "Oh, you're from. Oh, you've been sent from. Is right? Well, I did think it was a bit weird. I never saw those soldiers come back through. I suppose they did say they were only going to take a look. I'll put it down as official business anyway. I don't need to take any names or anything. It's fine. I'll just go put it in my logbook." And he wanders back over to the booth and kind of gets back in and opens up the book to a fresh page, puts today's date on it, and like writes down just Israel business group of 5 plus cart.
If the dwarfs come back, just tell them to tell Israel that we didn't come back if they come back without us.
Right, yeah, I'll pass
If
on
they
the
come
message.
back, in
That
case we miss
seems-
them, different
yeah.
directions, you know.
No, absolutely. I will pass on the message if those guys come back through. Don't you worry. Appreciate the business. Enjoy
Guy
the
on
view.
the other side, by the way.
Yeah, yes, my brother works on the other side. We each look after half the bridge because it's quite a long way. It's quite a lot to, keep working on. But yeah, he looks after the other half of the bridge. You'll see him on the way out. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not actually surprising that there's no names of people coming back. Because that's what his brother's job is.
Big brain time.
Yeah. Somebody may ask if people ever come back through it. I am not going to ask that because I wasn't really there looking at the red. I don't know what the ledger says. So, yeah. But you could ask that, I suppose. Otherwise, I think we're done. on our way across the bridge, I think.
Yeah, he kind of, you see Elstride's written your names down in the book. He gets back out the booth again, walks over to the actual like the first wooden archway of this bridge. It's fairly large, obviously plenty of room to fit a cart across. And you see him, he leans down and reaches down and basically lifts up this enormous tree trunk that he actually had laying down across the front of the bridge. That clearly is a way to like stop unwanted travellers getting through without paying the toll. And he lifts it up and rests it on his shoulder. It's this massive tree trunk. And he just kind of steps out of the way and just drops it down behind him. He goes, "Right, you're free to go, lads. You're free to go. Enjoy the view. Enjoy the trip. May you see many wonders on your travel. Come back safe."
I'll get back in my position in the cart.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, so you guys got to make your way onto there's this series of like 4 large wooden suspended bridges that basically go between these islands. And you kind of make your way and it's really sturdy, but it's still only a wood bridge. Like it can only be so sturdy. So it's a bit like bit scary at times. Taking like a large cart and mules across. It takes quite a lot of like calming them down to get them across this lot of bridges. But you make it across the first one, and you get to this large island that's about a mile long of land that you have to travel to get to the
Wow, it's
next
quite
bridge.
big.
Yeah, like these are no like insignificant feat of like building. Like it's impressive that they managed to stay up as strong as they do. And you can see like in certain places where like there are newer bits of wood or bits have been like replaced. So it certainly does seem to be at least in good repair for the most part. But you make it there and you make your way onto the next bridge and Scritch, you keeping an eye out over the lake as you
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. I absolutely do that. Yeah.
yeah, do you want to make what you and anyone else that is also watching over the lake can make perception checks?
Yeah, I eagerly tell them, and I get very excited, and like every time I see like a wave or something, I go, oh, kind of is that it? And
Yeah.
it's very much mentioned a lot. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
You certainly don't see like an underwater city or anything from where you are. You do see a few like shimmers in the water. You can't tell if it's just from the sunlight or if there's something moving in it. There are also what look to be on like you can see just some kind of structure built on the edge of the left island. You see some kind of. It's hard to picture what it actually is from obviously that enormous distance. But you see some kind of
Major.
structure. Yes, it would be on
Yeah.
Burma Major. You see some kind of structure on there.
Okay. These shimmers and stuff. Do I have them exactly in the spot that the guy told me?
No, they're not. No. Yeah, you keep your eyes kind of fixated on that spot, really focusing, trying to see, but you're not able to actually see any city or anything underneath the waves.
But I mean, is it even like a bit of a wave there or something like What I'm saying is that I'm willing. Scritch is willing to essentially convince himself that he saw the city.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of times when you're watching, you think, oh, that might be it, and it's more than likely just a wave or the light reflecting on the water. But
I think I probably convinced myself enough.
Believe that you have seen the city at that point, you can believe that.
I think I do. Yeah, I think I convinced myself that I have seen it, even if I haven't.
Probably quite excitedly go, there it is, there, to the rest of the party.
And I go, oh, maybe it's not. But like, if I see my friends, I'm going to tell them I saw it.
But yeah, you got to make your way across the next of these like wooden bridges across the next island and kind of continue that. And it is a significant time spent traveling across these. Like it's a good 5 or so hours. You have to go a little bit slower along these bridges, obviously, with them being like narrow wooden bridges, and you've got a large cart. So it takes you a bit longer to travel over these bridges than you
So
thought.
it's gonna be like basically the day's gonna be
Um,
done with travel by the time we get over the other side, like we were saying.
it takes you
Yeah.
like a fair amount of time to travel across. Bear in mind, yeah, it's like each square is supposed to be an hour's worth of travel.
Right.
Like each square is 3 miles.
Okay, but it's
Um,
actually more like 5 or 6 miles.
it's
That's
actually
about five
more
or six
like
hours.
it's
Sorry.
more
Yeah.
like it's more like 2 hours of travel per square you spend on the bridges,
Cool.
basically. Um, so you guys, yeah, it kind of by the time you get to the other end, it's just about probably getting close to about 5. With the amount of travel you've done. But you do finally come off. There is one shorter bridge at the end. And as you get to the end of it, there is another large tree trunk across the front of it. And you can see another hut just off to the left-hand side of the road with a booth on it. But there doesn't seem to be anyone paying attention to what's going on, and you are currently behind a rather large tree trunk.
I just start playing my lute.
Yeah, sure. Make
I will start lifting up the tree trunk.
Make a performance check. Sean, make a strength check. Beautiful. Yeah, Sean,
Not
you are unable to lift that tree trunk. It is incredibly heavy. But Gilbert, you kind of play some music on your lute, and you see like a head poke out one of the windows on the side of the cabin and goes, "Hey, who's that? Who's that playing music? Oh, bollocks, right? Okay." You see the door swing open on the cabin, and he comes out. This again, dwarven gentleman, and he kind of walks over to the log and goes, "Sorry, I wasn't paying attention." And just clasps his hand around this log and just lifts it straight up over his shoulder and steps out of the way. Goes, I trust you enjoyed your time on the bridges of Burma. I appreciate your donations. There is a donation box over here if you wish. Have a pleasant onward journey. Feel
He's
free to
taller
come
than
on
me.
by. No,
Is
he
he
is a
taller
dwarf.
than me?
He is a dwarf. He is definitely small.
Could I kill him? Could I
No.
intimidate him?
Why are you intimidating him?
We'll have to change
Don't
his
worry.
alignment, I think.
I was gonna say, if you can intimidate him if you like, but unless there is a purpose to intimidating him, that seems unnecessary.
I think
It's
Cody's
fine.
gone down the evil.
Don't worry. Serve you.
Evil. No, I haven't.
I mean,
He's also killed a
Fine.
dog, so he's
I think killing the dog was misguided, not necessarily evil.
I would
yeah.
have killed the dog if I was
Hmm.
fighting in that character.
Yeah.
I'd have
Oh,
done the
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
It was a very angry dog, so
But he shouldn't have killed her.
Trying to kill you.
That doesn't give you carte blanche just start going around killing every single dwarf you see. I asked his name.
I
he
was
goes, I'm Mason.
Mason. Ah, of course. Mason and Jason. That makes sense.
Oh,
Mason.
you met my brother, did you?
Well, yeah, funnily enough, he did.
Yeah, what a dickhead.
Oh, do you know on?
Hey, he's all right. He gets the nice side of the bridge.
Oh, why is your side not nice?
He gestures over towards the entire forest next to me. He goes, "You know where you're going, right? Not a nice place."
I say Botford, but like with a bit of a smile, as if to say, like, I don't really know what I'm getting myself in for.
I mean, it's not a nice place. Full of
Oh.
nasties. I have to do a lot more work on him.
The strong one needs to be this side, right?
Well, that's why I'm here, yeah. And again, you can see he is ridiculously well built.
Yeah. I mean, they have nothing to do with that all day, right?
Yeah, he's stood
all they
there
do is
just
just
like
lift
one arm
weights.
over this,
Yeah.
one arm over this tree trunk, just chilling, talking to you guys. Like,
And what else they had to do was they're just waiting for people to come up and just like lift weights.
pretty much. You should see him. He is stood there. And he goes, "Right, well, you coming through or what? Come on then. Come on then. Come on."
Yeah. I G up the mules.
Yeah, and they are extremely happy to be off of this rickety wooden bridge, and kind of make their way off. You kind of, and he goes, and he
Yeah, I'm gonna
puts the log
pull
back
over the
down.
cart. Yeah, once we get off, I'll pull over the cart. Hop off, and I'm gonna like tend to the mules, make sure they're right. Maybe give them a bit of fruit from my rations, that sort of thing. Whilst people are talking to them.
Yeah,
Talking
make an animal handling check for me.
Sure.
Hey,
Yeah, there you go.
had to
That's
happen
nice.
at some point.
Yeah. All these crappy with insight checks, but I'm really good at chatting to these mules.
Yeah, I seem to remember last session that the mules quite liked you as well.
Yeah,
So
they did, yeah.
that tracks. Yeah, they seem a bit almost like spooked, I guess, from having to travel across like a massive like drop essentially. But are much happier now that they're on dry land, and even happier now that they're being fed. And they kind of look like they're ready to possibly carry on a little bit longer if you wanted to. But you know.
Can I ask where does the dwarf sleep in his little hut there?
He goes, "Well, I got my house," and he gestures. And there's the 10-foot by 10-foot booth, and then there's like a cabin behind it. Essentially, there's like a house. And he goes, I live in my house." Why? What are you offering?
Is it night time?
It's about 5 o'clock. The sun's not quite setting. It's starting to go down.
Seeing if I've got anything in inventory. I've got some rations and I can play some nice music during the evening.
I mean,
In camp.
if you're traveling up, I mean, I've got a couple of spare rooms. If you wanted to, I mean, it comes at a price, of course, you know. If you're interested in staying in my cabin instead of camping out in the wilderness, it's entirely up to you.
At this point, I honestly turn to Gilbert and say that the horses or the mules, sorry, could do with a decent night in with fresh hay.
Do you have fresh hay?
Yeah, I've got a small stable with some hay off to the side of the cabin. If you're interested, again, comes at a price.
Does a good tune play the price?
I'm afraid not. It might lower it though.
What prices have we got?
What was that, sorry?
The prices.
He goes, well,
Play a nice tune.
if tell you what, if you play a nice tune, I'll let you all stay in the cabin. I've got a few beds, you know, a couple of comfy chairs, relatively comfy floor, you know, and I'll provide some hay for your horses, and we'll call it an even 10 gold.
See if my is it performance check, yeah?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah,
That's a perception check.
that is perception. You
I
can,
expect your performance is going to be better than perception.
I'm assuming you will have a higher bonus to your performance.
I've got an extra 2, so that would have been an 18.
But
Yeah.
18, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's pretty decent little, pretty decent little performance you managed to put on. And he goes, yes, I like you. Your friends can come if they like. It's
18
fine.
gold, yeah?
Yeah, 10 gold, and he'll
Off,
put
yeah?
you guys up for the evening. Yeah, go
Oh, I'll
for it.
pay for that.
Thank you.
Um,
I try to
Brandon
give.
paid for the thing, and then I'll pay for this.
Yeah.
seems entirely fair. But yeah, you guys managed to get a night in, you know, relative comfort. I would say you can all take long rests, but I think everyone is already fully rested and that. If you're not, you can take one. If you'd like to take one, you can.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course, days of rations, right?
To be fair, he seems pretty happy with you guys. He does have food that he's willing to
Oh.
share if you want it. So,
Oh, very kind of him.
And
Tunes.
and you guys manage to kind of you spend the evening there. He's got like a large fire in his fireplace and cooks up some various meats and such that seem to be like hunted from nearby, possibly, given by how fresh they actually are. Yeah, you have an evening with him if you have anything to talk about, or we can just go straight through to the next morning.
Just
I'm
literally
going to ask.
creatures and stuff.
The two people spoke then. Who?
I'll
what
let
was
Charlie
that?
go first.
No, you go first.
I just was gonna like thing any like creatures he sees in the forest from his booth.
He goes, yeah, and he gestures over towards what he's cooking on the fire that evening. He goes, well, there's boars, of course. They're good boars. Tasty meat, plenty of fat on it. You know, good for building the strength. Then there's some bears. You get some deer, some elk. Yeah, the normal things. Nothing too scary in the close proximity, but you get closer to old
I-
Botford, it turns a bit dark.
He's got his own in his house, or has he got a wife or a husband or?
Seems entirely by himself.
I'm going to
I
ask him
asked
just about the
Yeah.
the floating city if he knows anything that his brother doesn't know.
He goes, it's all a load of bollocks. There's no
Okay.
city. Don't let my idiot brother tell you otherwise. There's no city under that lake. They would have found it by now, wouldn't they?
I have a
Oh, well,
question.
I choose to believe.
Yeah, go for it, Sean. Go for it.
Is there a pet shop nearby?
Pet shop? What do you mean? No bloody pet shop north of Hatford. Yeah. You guys look like adventuring blokes anyway. Surely you're not. It's not a good line of work for a pet.
Sense
You
of a
know.
pet.
Well, it does indeed, yeah. But it takes a lot of training as well. You see.
Oh, I completely forgot. I made it.
But
Oh,
no,
that's
you'd be looking at further down south, somewhere like Hatford, or possibly even down towards Alphaley if you were looking for pets. We don't get, there's nothing up. There's nothing up here. This is pretty abandoned up this way.
I'm really mad now.
Are you raging?
I'm
Oh,
really mad now.
good. Excellent. Excellent. That was really well done.
I was
It
waiting for
feels
someone
bad.
else to say it.
I make it clear that I'm a believer in the city, but other than that, say no more, and I'm good for bed.
Yeah, he probably makes a couple of comments about like it being just a load of rubbish or whatever, and not to believe everything you hear or stuff like that.
I say that I've read it in the history books.
Yeah, history's not always written by
Yeah,
the smartest
yeah.
people, mate.
Yeah, that's all right.
You believe what you want to believe. That's fine. Whatever keeps you going, mate.
I answered once again with some sort of monkly proverb about I don't know I don't know the truth is always destructive from two stories.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to ponder that thought for about 30 seconds before tucking back into like this war leg that he's got. He's like, yeah, sure. You monks, bloody hell. He looks over to Reshi. He's a bit of, yeah. You can see he's got like a large tankard of ale that he is most of the way through at this point. Proverbs are likely not landing in his ears very well.
So I need to get a list of proverbs now. So
Yeah, I mean, you could just roll a wisdom check if you want to see how wise your proverbs are, but
I can do. I just want
but also, yeah, having actual proverbs to spout would be quite funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's more for character reasons than anything else.
But yeah, you guys manage a relatively restful night in Mason's cabin. There is not quite enough beds for everyone to have a bed, but there are comfortable chairs and all the floor for those who are willing.
I'm happy to find a roost in the ceiling.
Do full like bat hang from the ceiling kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like to feel Gilbert's really spread out in a bed on his own.
Yeah, he takes the
Spread out.
double and it's just like starfished on the bed. Yeah, that seems fair. But yeah, it's the early hours of the morning, and the sun kind of begins to rise through the windows of this cabin. You can hear a fire kind of crackling in the other room, and yeah, the morning is yours.
I will say, see you when we return, good sir.
He goes, yeah, nice to see you.
Oh.
Come on back. I like you. You come on back, eh?
Oh, before we go, we've been sent looking by the Israel next lord to search for some Imperial soldiers. I'll show you the little token. Can you just point which direction they went in from a few months ago?
He goes, oh boy, it's been a while since they came through, but well, they followed the main road. There's still a road that leads up towards, but it goes a bit. The road doesn't really exist after a certain point, I suppose. But from what I saw, they just followed the road into the forest.
Thank you for your help.
Oh, you're very welcome.
See you on our return.
Yes, you guys are welcome to come on back, and if you like, it's fine. There's always a fire and some ale for those that want it.
I tip him a gold as we leave.
He kind of nods his head, like goes, much obliged, much obliged. Don't question the voice, by the way. It's devolved from something into just something else.
It's good. It's good.
It started as something, and that something really started hurting my throat. So it's changed. But yeah, you guys are kind of on the outskirts of this area of Salia known as the Botford Forest, which basically encompasses the top quarter of this island. And it's just like patches and just dense forest like across this whole region, with like a few clearings in between. But yeah, there is a road that seems to lead into one of these dense patches of forest, if that's where you'd like to follow.
Yeah.
So there. I'm guessing now we're in this bit, I'll probably be a bit more watching. Like, I'll tell Brandon if he sat on the back with me that I'll watch the left or right side and he can look at the other side.
Well, just keeping an eye out, yeah.
Yeah, and whoever's there wants to like watch from the back.
Yeah, I mean, by driving the car, I'm not paying particular attention. I'm not like as alert as perhaps the more experienced members of our party.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you guys work out it's about 10 hours worth of travel. You would gather from where you are to what is labelled on a map as Botford, the town. But if you guys are you planning on doing that all in one day, or are you going to split it up? It's up to you guys how far you basically want to push in one day.
Sorry, how many days was it again? Sorry, how many hours was it again?
It's 10 hours travel. So a normal day with like a cart would consist of about 8 hours travel.
Can I make an animal handling check to see if I can get some sort of sense of how tired the mules are? Because they've been travelling now for like 3 or 4 days. They're probably quite tired, but also they had a good night's sleep. So
yeah, sure. Yeah, make another animal handling check. Yeah, see, you're good at these.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking a bit happier now that they're obviously on solid ground and have had a night of like peaceful rest in like a stables. You certainly think it would be at least pushing them somewhat to do a full 10 hours travel at the end of it. There's not that they wouldn't be able to do it, but there would almost certainly be the potential for like exhaustion levels and things like that to be coming into play if you were to try and push on.
I say this. I think that the mules, sorry, have been travelling hard enough as it is, and we ought to split it into 2 days.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
agree.
I'm slightly oblivious of the potential dangers of camping in the middle of the forest, but that's okay.
If anything, I suggest it might be better stopping earlier than we would, just
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
I think
some distance between us and Botford.
five. Okay.
The proper watches, because we are in dangerous territory where we might get eaten alive.
Yeah, fair, cool. So, how far are you guys willing to travel today? Basically, it is like first thing in the morning. You can sit and eat breakfast with Mason if you like. There is bacon being prepared in the morning, so
I
you can
think
kind of
3 hours away from Botford is pretty. We're far enough away that you're not going to get any kind of passing trouble from Botford itself.
That's 7 hours as well, and I think 7 hours is
so willing to travel to about here then, ish, to keep you just outside of it then.
yeah. I think 7 hours is a good amount of travel for the horses as well. The mules, sorry.
Yeah. Well, in that case, so who's keeping an eye out as you're traveling?
I'm driving, but I'm not like keeping a very keen eye out.
Yeah.
But I
I
am
know. I
driving,
know.
so
Shane said he was keeping an eye out. Is
Only on
anyone
one
else?
side, though.
Yeah. Is anyone else watching the other side?
I mean, no more than just paying attention, not like specifically, no.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, Gilbert, would you like to make a perception check for me as you travel through this forest and just
the
as
right
a
one this time.
continuous thing? Beautiful. I will take that into account. But yeah, you kind of make your way, and Mason gives you a little wave as you head off down the track, and you basically you are following again this kind of gravelly track almost. Seems to have been quite purpose built, at least at some point. You don't know the last time it was maintained. There's certainly like plant life and like weeds and stuff growing through it. But it heads straight into like this dense thicket of forest in front of you. And you can see there's been clearly a gap carved through this forest, and you make your way into it, and just the light is just cut off once you get inside this. There is just small amounts of sunlight kind of permeating through this like thick canopy above you guys, and you can hear birds and stuff every now and then kind of flutter by across the top of this canopy. But you guys kind of make your way in. It's a little bit harder travel coming through the forest than it was on like the open roads. But you spend about 7.5 or so hours traveling through this forest and make it to about here on the map, you would assume. Um, so you kind of make it through there, and you get to. It's probably just before 4-ish, about 2:30 or so. By the time you finished like that stint of travel, the mules are feeling a bit, obviously looking a bit haggard at this point and a bit worked. It's up to you guys if obviously you're stopping or not. But you would assume, about 10 miles out from the outskirts of what we considered Botford proper. What do you guys do?
guess we stop here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got plenty of daylight left. In fact, you could take plenty of time to like try and scout around for a decent camping spot, or try and, I guess, cover up your cart or things like that if you wanted to, or
Yeah,
basically
that.
anything. You have,
in the cart.
yeah, it's up to you guys what you want to do with this time, because it's still not sunset or anything like that. There's still some amount of sunlight coming through this forest.
I mostly tend to the mules.
I forgot I had things.
I'm not exactly experienced in making good camps, so
I forgot I had backdrops to put up whilst I was doing things. So have a backdrop. You're welcome.
Token vision.
I don't know if you can even see.
it's just a black screen for me.
Good enough. Why? I'm sure I went through all these and turned token vision off. Oh well. How
Oh,
about now?
wow, that's really pretty.
I could have sworn I'd gone through all of them and turned token vision off, but
I'm guessing
apparently.
it's less pretty than this.
Yeah, it's like obviously a bit of a exaggerate, but there is like various plant life growing and all. Like the sun is coming through these gaps in the canopy.
What's the path like actually?
The path is it's a bit less. Once you get further and further, after like about 4 or 5 hours of going on this path, it turns from that gravelly kind of well-made path into more of just a muddy track. It's still definitely purposely set in this location, but yeah, it is.
Without doing like a I don't know what check, whatever check it would be to do so. Like as a normal person, like just normally driving my car along, does it look like this is a well-used track or a track which never like hasn't been used for a long time? Is it overgrown, that sort of thing?
There's a lot of like the plant life to the side of it is certainly encroaching and even growing through a lot of the track. It doesn't look like it's exactly maintained or well, like it doesn't look like there's hundreds of people that walk along it every day. Like it's certainly been left to kind of become one with nature a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you guys do to? How are you setting up your camp?
I would do my tradition of hiding in the cart and making my bed inside the cart.
Yeah, sure. Make a survival check for me then. See how well you can hide the cart with what's around you.
I'm good at my cart hiding skills.
Yeah, you're actually pretty good at that. You kind of managed to grab and again, like bend a couple of bits of like the foliage from nearby trees and bushes, and take a couple of other bits and kind of put them over the majority of the cart, and it almost makes this like sheltered room inside the back of this cart. And for the most part, from the track, at
Back
least,
one second.
it is obscured.
My little thing so I can see out of each corner if I need to just cast a spell for it of sleep.
Yeah, you could stick your hand out and cast the spells if you needed to. Like it's not made it like invisible to see or anything, but it's yeah, it's like you would have to be looking for it to spot it at this point. Is anybody else doing anything?
Nay.
No.
Nay. Calm down, Mr. Horse. I'm funny. Just wait for Mr. Charlie to return quick. But let's say you spend a little bit of time doing that, and I have another thing. I'm going to check if it has token vision first. It doesn't. I knew it. Knew I set it up. Can I activate this?
Thanks, sorry.
That's okay. Are you doing anything, Scritch, before like just bedding down for the night?
Only tending to the mules
That's yeah.
and making conversation. I don't think I've got anything particularly interesting to say. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about the city, the city of Burma, and see if anyone what people talk. But I'm going to guess that most people don't really give me very much back, and that's fine. The conversation just dies at that point, I guess.
But yeah, I've put a picture with a campfire on. If you guys aren't lighting a campfire, that's fine. I've put that there for aesthetic reasons.
Actually, I'm going to ask Brandon about his past.
Good question.
I'm going to ask
Anything in
him.
particular?
Oh yeah, I'm going to ask him where did he grow up?
I grew up in Alphaley.
Ah, so you're from Salia.
Yeah.
What brings you to a life of adventuring?
What other than being kidnapped?
Wait. What, kidnapped recently or kidnapped before?
Well, relatively recently. I don't know how quickly it's left your mind.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering. So, what did you do before the kidnapping?
I was delivering stuff.
Ah, a courier. What did you courier? What was your courier? What was your goods?
Not really the type to ask questions. As the people I would be moving stuff for weren't really the type that wanted to be asked.
Ah, sometimes it's better not to question.
Yeah,
Kind of.
as like like Gilbert said, talking about Hatford, sometimes people have to do what they do, what they must to make ends meet.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you have family in Atherley?
No.
Okay. That's in the conversation, I think.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, Brannon shuts that question down that purposefully. That's quite,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's great. Yeah, and I don't know how to react to that, so I just like at that point I feel really awkward and just stop asking questions. I guess yeah. I just stare into the campfire if we have a campfire, or if it's not, stare into the space where the campfire would be. And I don't want to ask any more questions.
Yeah,
So,
I think it would be quite a, like, awkward response to anyone that was there, yeah.
It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
there's crickets almost after that of like, oh, this is quiet, this is awkward. Yeah, are you guys lighting a campfire or are you staying in the cold? Because it's not massively warm.
Well, if we're in the mood for talking about each other's stories, what about you, Muscles?
Mm,
Why were you on the road when you were kidnapped?
um, why was I on the road?
Good question, isn't it?
Excellent question.
I forgot why I was on the road.
Were you shopping for a puppy?
No.
Were you searching revenge for someone that killed your dog, John Wick style?
Wait,
No.
do you forget Cody the human being, or does Sean the character say they've forgotten?
Yeah,
Both say they've
I was going
forgotten.
to
I
say
didn't.
if Cody the
I don't
human
think.
being is forgotten, I can remind you, and we can go into a private chat, and I can remind you if you want.
Can you remind me?
Yeah, do you want to jump over to the private chat, and I'll.
Searching for his dog that was killed is my guess. That's why he reacted to it.
I was out to seek revenge from my dead wife.
Oh, it's very for loss. I'm sure she's with the sky now.
Mm-hmm.
Who killed her?
Hold on. Let me get it up.
For now.
You don't need to go into another call.
You okay?
Yeah? Oh.
If it helps, everything we discussed on your character's backstory is on our message history.
Yeah.
Uh,
My wife died to giants.
it was trolls, to be fair, not
Oh,
giants.
trolls.
We retcons that slightly. But
Trolls.
And you were there?
Yeah. I tried my best. Yeah, I was there.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I tried my best.
I think she probably knows that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna head off to bed.
This has gone well.
It's got real sad real quick, didn't it? Sean, you can have an inspiration for that wonderful role playing. You can mark that on your character sheet. There should be a button for it. Can't remember. Yeah, the D20 to the
Where's
top right of your character.
inspiration?
There's a D20 symbol next to the top right of your image on your character sheet. If you click that, it'll give you inspiration.
Oh,
So that can
I
be
clicked
used
it.
anytime you make a roll. You can spend that inspiration and give that roll advantage.
Okay.
But yeah, the Goliath goes to bed.
All sad.
Brannon will sort of sit there in the awkward silence for everyone else for a few minutes, then he'll turn to Erin and say, if we're digging up tragic stories, what's yours?
You're muted.
That's your tragic story. He can't talk.
He can't find the mute button.
Whenever I talk, no one
Yeah,
responds.
yeah. My tragic story was that I was muted. Very
Please
tragic.
please tell me you haven't been talking this whole time.
No.
Okay, good. I would feel real bad. Carry on.
So what do you want me to say? Like,
Well, what do you want to say?
Yeah. What does your character want to share when they're asked about their backstory? Or
well,
what
I mean,
they've done?
I mean, I'm sort of normal. Except all I found was I found this ring one time, yeah, and like one of these places I found. So I was going through like one of the cargo that I had to well, something that I found or whatever. I don't know if it was left by someone or that, but then I found this ring, so I just picked up the ring. And then now it's mine. My ring. Now it's binded to me and I can't get it off.
Physically binded to you.
Yes. I can't get it off. Do you want to try and get it off?
I'm up for a challenge. Brandon kind of like recognises this is a light moment compared to where everything's come, so I'm quite happy to take you up on your offer. Yeah.
You attempt to take the ring off of his finger, and you see it's like a pretty it's not exactly like a nice looking ring. It's like an old, slightly kind of oxidized like iron band around one of his fingers. It's not entirely exciting.
Yes, that works, right?
Wow, yeah. So you go to take this ring off, and not only do you not have the strength to pull it off his finger, as you kind of pull at the ring, this shadow spills out of side of underneath it and lashes at your hand, and you take 3 points of necrotic damage.
The fuck, man?
I can't control it. I don't know what it is.
Well, how about next time you tell someone to undress you, you warn them ahead?
Hot.
How long?
What?
How long?
Probably around at least a couple years.
What? If you try to take it off, the same thing?
Yeah. Do you want me to try and do it now?
Dude, you got problems. No way.
It was an iron ring. Just
Yes,
a plain
iron
iron ring. Not,
Yes.
What,
Yep. Plain iron band.
Where did it come from?
Thing that I found. Just a little box.
You just put it on.
Yep.
Man, that's the last time I go rummaging through someone else's wardrobe.
That's on you, mate. Can I make some sort of check to see if I know anything about it?
Sure. You can make an Arcana check,
Oh, this isn't going to go well.
I suppose.
Ah, it's a ring. That seems
it's
okay.
it's a ring. It certainly seems to have some kind of magic
Is it cursed?
intrinsically in it. You would assume so by the fact that he can't take it off without getting hurt.
Okay.
The exact extent of the magic you don't detect from it by any means or anything like that, but it certainly seems magical.
And this thing lashed out when you put your hand near it, right?
When he tried to remove it.
But
So I
how did it
saw
know?
like a shadowy hand reach out from it. Did you say?
Not like a hand. So where you tried to pull at the ring, and from underneath, the shadow almost spilt out and just
Okay.
lashed at your hand.
And it's when you pull at the ring, you say.
It certainly seemed to as soon as he started
Right.
pulling at the ring. Yeah.
Have you tried cutting the ring off?
I was just thinking if Muscles was here, we could solve this really quickly.
What, ripping the finger off?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing, but if I cut it, well, if I try and cut it, what if I cut myself and then bleed out?
Hey, I get it, man. I get it.
This thing is binded to me.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Just, I
No
mean,
idea. And I pull out my dagger.
okay, right. I put
pretend
out my finger.
I pretend to cut his finger off, cast Minor Illusion, and have a fake finger in my hand with blood coming from his thing.
You trying to convince
sure.
him you've cut his finger off?
Roll a persuasion check or deception or something. Roll some kind of check, and you're gonna have to roll
A
hard.
check.
Yeah, strangely enough, you're not able to convince him that you cut his own finger off. You think you did a great job. and
Also, Minor Illusion takes a somatic component, so
yeah,
you
like
have to say something.
it's clear you.
Oh,
it's
sorry,
clear-
hand gesture. Sorry.
Yeah, it's clear you do something, and then suddenly there is a finger above in your hand that is bleeding, but there is still a finger attached to Aaron.
Brandon laughs though. Brandon likes the dark humour of it.
I go along with it and hide my finger behind my hand. I'm like, what happened?
Make a performance check.
There you go.
Does the ring cause you any other issues?
I'll
No,
be
not
damned.
really.
You guys damn near think that finger's been cut off. He sells it for a good 10 seconds. You're thinking that finger's gone, and then he slips, and you see the finger there. It's like,
My Minor Illusion just disappears and it's gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
How many more animals do you think you've got to kill to please whatever's inside of it?
What?
Just wondered.
Makes sense.
Oh, probably like around 10 more.
Some
I'm
more
joking,
hunting.
by the way.
What about you then, Shorty?
Me, I'm a travelling musician. Pretty obvious here. And I like pull out my different musical instruments.
No dead family? No
Yes,
magical rings?
No magical rings. I say dead family, but they died like when I was like 1 or 2, so not like I actually knew them. So
I have a magical ring.
Do you?
So what?
Yeah.
Use your magical ring to get off my magical ring.
I can't do that, but
Oh.
then I scamper up the nearest tree and jump off of it.
And I'm assuming use the ring.
Yeah, I used the ring.
Yeah, don't just. Yeah, you watch this. You watch Scritch kind of scamper up this tree, really, really high up, and then just free fall backwards off of it, and just suddenly you see a small like glint on its finger, and just begins to just sway with the wind down to the ground gently.
I was gonna say, if he just.
Man, I've never been one for jewellery, but I'm starting to feel a bit jealous here.
I land on my feet with a sort of like bit of a kung fu-y monkly flourish, and then yeah, that's it. Wait, so I missed it. Maybe I misunderstood. You got this ring, but why are you adventuring? Why does the ring cause you to adventure?
Well, I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I only just started adventuring, if I'm being honest,
Ah, same here.
because of the kidnapping. Because I got kidnapped, and yeah.
What are you doing for the kidnapping?
Uh, hold on a moment. Oh, I need to remember.
Consults his journal.
Out if you need me.
I'm trying to remember.
I almost
I
shouted the
can't
words "if you
remember.
need me" then, but I refrained.
Very good, Sam.
Thanks.
Would you
What
like
was
to? Would
it?
you like to disappear into a private chat quickly so I can remind you? Go back, or are you
Yes, please, because I know that you know it.
fine? Come into the private chat with me.
Okay, I'll be back in a moment, guys.
There were some nice private chats this afternoon.
I know. It's handy that the GM can remind us all our backstories.
To be honest with you, I've looked at my previous Facebook conversations with Jake and gone back and reminded myself.
I wasn't doing the same. Don't worry.
You should use my patented character background document that I sent
Yes.
over the. I've got mine open, and it's very handy for this to look up things because I started to forget things.
I remember most of it. It's just like a few little bits I forget.
Part of my problem is I take notes in different places and I need to be more consistent in using one. I currently have some stuff on my character sheet on Foundry, some stuff in a private conversation with Jake, some stuff on a piece of paper, and some stuff on a Google Doc. I should probably collate these somehow.
Yeah, mine's all luckily on that. But I mean, oh, and also actually for my other character for the new campaign, your new campaign, it's all on Google Doc for that reason. That's why I put it on the Google Doc first and send it over to you.
Yeah,
So it's
that
easier
makes
to find
sense.
later on.
Oh, back.
Everyone be polite.
I am back.
Stop saying
So, oh, I just had a voice crack. So I was hunting before I got kidnapped. That's what I was doing before. I was like a hunter.
Dogs, bandits.
Mm.
No.
I mean,
Oh,
I was hunting whatever I could hunt. Deer, I guess. Deer could be something or something that I hunted a lot. And well, yeah, anything really.
you noticed, I was about to say something and then stopped myself halfway through.
Can I? Oh, briefly out of character, Jake. Can I? Did we establish? Is Erin noticeably an Eladrin, or is he just like any other elf?
I believe that was established. Yeah,
And what did
Aaron.
we establish the background of Eladrin were in this? They're
So
like
They
they are
changed colours.
they are descended from elves directly from the Feywild.
cool.
So they are not themselves born necessarily in the Feywild,
Yeah.
but they are certainly descended from a bloodline from the Feywild.
Cool.
And yeah, they have colourful hair.
What were you hunting?
I mean, anything. Deers, uh, bears.
Are you a
Was
travelling
that
meat salesman? Do you just rock up
was
at
that your,
markets?
I just sold things. Yeah, I needed money and stuff.
where do you live?
Um, what I can't remember what it was.
We just went through this, Mr. Corman.
I know. I'm sorry. I just forgot instantly.
It was Whitbury.
Yeah.
Whitbury. Okay, so
Whitbury.
you live in civilization even though you're a hunter by trade.
Yeah, I went like up a bit to find like thingy.
What do you do? Do you hunt for contract? Like, does someone pay you to go and hunt a certain thing to bring it back to them, or do you just hunt whatever you want to eat it, or do you hunt to sell it on?
I hunt and eat the meat, I guess, if I'm hungry. And then I either do that or I just go and sell it.
Oh yeah, okay. Is this where you found your ring on a hunting trip?
Yeah, I found my ring on a hunting trip on like a road. It was just a crate.
Can I insight check? Because it sounds like a bit of a weird story.
Go for it. You make an insight check.
Eh? Oh,
Erin,
Before you answer, feel free to tell me in private if that's better.
yeah, no. I'll just say, Erin, if you want to make a private roll to me of either persuasion or deception, depending
how
on
do
whether
I
you're
make a
telling the
private
truth or
roll?
lying, you should be able to set your roll mode above, like on the chat. I believe you can set it to private roll.
Private GM roll. That's what I can do.
That
Yeah,
sounds about
means
right.
only you
That
and
should do it,
Jake will see
shouldn't
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could roll either, obviously, persuasion or deception, depending on whether you're lying or telling the truth.
So which one's lying and which one's telling the truth?
Persuasion would be if you were telling the truth. Deception would be
Right.
if you were lying. That is a good roll, Shane. Good job. Cool. Scritch, do you want to come over to the private chat with me quick?
Oh, this is so exciting.
I keep on throwing things around. Sorry if you hear clashing. I'm throwing a ball and then it hits things.
Probably just don't throw it.
Not me.
Are you smashing things up just to annoy Sam? Because he has to clean it up.
I'm not smashing things up. I mean, don't think I am at least.
I don't always have to clean up behind you, do I? Other than
You
the,
couldn't
other than the
call
glass
it-
you
you
broke, which put your sister in hospital today. Is that funny? Is it?
No, I just it's not like it, um I didn't do it. It was not me. They must be having fun in that private chat of theirs.
What are they talking about?
They're just talking about life and
Oh, I've got
stuff.
to get out of Cormac then.
They're just thinking of something. They're talking about their own private GM stuff. You know, nothing you need to worry about. They're back.
Hi again.
Right on cue.
Yeah. I will turn to Erin
Yeah.
and say, I don't know I don't want to say. 1 second. I'm trying to find something interesting to say.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Yeah, yeah, that was good.
Good. I'll be rolling wisdom check. We'll see if it's a good monastic proverb. It's fine. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
My pants are not on fire.
No, I'm actually thinking something more like, I know that in some parts of the UK, people say the word chinny reckon to mean like, I didn't believe what you're saying. But chinny reckon doesn't sound right, but basically chinny reckon. Feather reckon, I don't know. Yeah.
Calling you out.
Hey, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to say then?
Where do you get the ring from? Sounds like a good story.
Well, it's not a good story.
So it's a different
Oh.
story.
How can we know if it's a good story or a bad story unless you tell us?
I got it from something that involves family, like
Maybe it's personal and he's not very
family stuff.
keen to share.
Maybe you shouldn't
Um,
lie.
Everyone has their dark secrets.
The only reason I lied was because I didn't want you guys to know.
No what?
How I got my ring.
And I say, Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind and forgotten. How do you get your ring? Where are your family now? Your traveling family?
Oh, I don't want to say. Say I got my ring.
1 second. Okay, at this point, I realise you don't want to talk about it, and I just, say, "Oh, maybe it's a story for another day." And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to bed at this point.
I'll go to bed as well.
I'll just turn to Gilbert and say, good bonding session.
Actually, I didn't necessarily go to bed because we haven't actually planned what we're doing about sleeping. But if I've got a watch, if I do the first watch, then I'll say that I'm not going to take the watch. I'll be sure to talk about what we're actually doing regarding that.
I'll take a watch, I guess.
You only need 4 hours sleep, so you might as well go first and take the final watch.
Yeah, that'd work.
I'm happy staying up whilst Erin takes a rest.
Yeah, I'll stay up as well. I'll say it's time for my watch, and I'll climb up a tree a little bit to take like a better viewpoint or something.
I'll
I'm
do my
resting.
normal. I'll go to sleep and then wake up and do the
Hi,
final 4
resting.
hours with Aaron.
I'm resting because I'm sad.
Yeah, you've gone to sleep.
Hi, resting because
who's staying up
I'm
to watch
sad.
That's deep. That was a deep
I'll
one.
stay
That was
up
good.
actually because I don't feel like the Birdman's going to be a very good watch.
Can I take a
Normally
long
Sean
rest?
stays awake, so I'll stay awake. So
Wait, It's not just me, right? It's Brandon as well.
Yeah.
I'll take the first one as well. I normally go to sleep where Sean's gone to sleep.
Can I take a long
stay
rest?
Not yet.
I'm sleeping the whole
Look
night.
out.
I'm too sad.
He's going into the sad boy.
I'm just sad.
Cool. So, Brannon, Scritch, and Gilbert, as you're taking the first watch, then, do you want to each make like a perception check if you're keeping an eye out?
Yeah, sure.
This is not good.
Well, that's right. One of you's paying attention, so that's fine. Yeah. Like Gilbert, you kind of find yourself. Normally, at this point, you're going to sleep, and you find you're struggling to actually keep your eyes open.
Gilbert's
kind
roles
of,
might
like-
still be set to private, by the way.
They are still private. Yeah.
Wait, sorry, was I
do
meant to
that,
roll?
and it shows everyone. No,
Hey,
you're
Was I
you're
meant to
asleep.
roll?
Yeah, you're all good. You're asleep at the moment. But Brannon is keeping a good eye out because Scritch is just fascinated thinking about this city still and thinking about all the information he's learned about all his travelling friends, and it's just going through that in his brain at this point. Brannon, however, you do kind of keep an eye out, and you think you hear a couple of noises every now and then from different directions. The forest you're in is certainly like full of life. Suppose, like I guess it's the best way to put it. Like there is plenty of other living creatures out and about in this forest. You're lucky enough that during like the 4 hours you have a watch, nothing seems to come by. Nothing seems to give you any trouble. You swear you see something moving in like the hedge nearby, and you kind of look over and take a peek through a bit of the hedge, but there's nothing there. It's gone before you even get to it, you know. But yeah, 4 hours goes by. Erin, you may take a long rest.
When you say I saw something, how certain am I that I saw something?
You're not quite sure. It could just be like the low light. It could be that you've not gone to sleep yet. You certainly think you see something, but you don't ever catch it. So there's no concrete proof, I suppose, that you find it. Yeah. But yeah. So Erin, are you just taking the rest of the watch by yourself and everyone else is sleeping? Yeah.
No, I'm Cormac.
You're taking it too seriously now, Cormac.
You take 2d4 psychic damage.
Okay.
Yeah, kill him.
But yeah, so you've got 4 hours basically until Sean will have completed a long rest. Whether he actually gets up or not is his choice. He's sad, you know. But yeah, so Aaron, do you want to make a perception check for your like third of the watch, I suppose?
So I take 6 damage.
I was joking. It's fine.
Oh, right, okay.
I was joking. You do need to make a perception check, though.
Oh, okay. Perception. I'm okay at perception.
Well, your party's life depends on it, so awesome.
Yay! If everyone gets killed, it's not my fault.
Nah, it'll be fine, I'm sure.
You say that, but it's not going to be fine because, well,
No, you kind of sat there, kind of in quiet, I guess, contemplation of kind of having your background and your past like probed into almost by this not group of strangers anymore, but certainly not group of like very close friends.
Oh, this is
To
our
have,
fault.
like,
We
your-
dug too deep.
to have your background like probed into like that, especially when it's something you didn't want to talk about. It's kind of the focus of your mind for this 4 hours as you're sat there and you kind of twiddle at the ring on your finger a little bit and just sit there and can you make for me I'm gonna say a wisdom saving throw. Oh,
Fine.
whoa! You lucky boy. Yeah, you are. Nothing happens that you know. Nothing happens that you are aware of. So you're all good. But yeah, your watch passes without any real issue. Sean, you have completed a long rest at this point. You can
I stay in
take a
bed.
long rest if you
I
like.
stay in bed.
Yeah, you stay in bed. Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, you can take a long rest if you need to. And there is another 4 hours basically of the sun coming up whilst the rest of you guys finish your long rest. So I guess if Sean is staying in bed, Aaron, do you want to make another perception check for me? Yeah. Yeah, you're all good. You kind of again, you hear as the forest itself like starts waking up around you guys over the next kind of few hours as the rest of you slowly come to consciousness from your sleep. Everyone else, if they need to, can take a long rest. And daylight starts to kind of break through the forest canopy is the word, and kind of brings a lot of you back to consciousness. Oh yeah, I forgot you used your charge on that. Worth it, of course. But yeah, you awaken. The day is yours. I'll pull you guys back to here. And yeah, by your best guess, you're about 3 hours travel outside of Botford itself, like outside of the town. What do you guys do?
I'll to my normal seat. But I'm quite comfortable with basically where my bed is, I'm gonna guess now. I kind of
Pretty
made that
much
as my
where
little
you've
bed
slept this whole time, yeah.
I'll just like lay down there.
I'll have some breakfast.
I guess I'll have breakfast as well.
So that costs. I should mark off a day's worth of rations as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna
yeah,
say.
you guys are taking a long rest,
Yeah.
so if you're tracking rations, you can mark off a day's worth of rations. I'm assuming Sean finally gets out of bed.
I guess.
Morning, big fella. You alright?
No answer.
Hey, Muscles. I'm sorry, man. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed so much.
No answer.
Hmm.
Oh cold.
I go up to Muscles and say I'll get you a dog once we get to the nearest place that sells dogs if that will make you happy.
I then say, go away. Anything that I love dies. There's no point.
You might have some dog left over from yesterday.
Damn.
Man, this is so emo.
Look, we made a really fun character together, you guys. All right, really fun backstory.
I need to go and listen to My Chemical Romance.
It's my life. Okay.
Try and play a nice little tune on my flute to cheer people up.
Sure, make a performance check this lovely morning.
Feel like it made it worse.
Yeah, it's not your best performance, to be honest. It's poor. It's
Every
in poor
breath
taste.
you take.
Sometimes I do something like that. Not thinking about it, I play a really sad song.
Gilbert
Sad
just starts
music.
playing the
Sad
funeral
music.
march or something.
Sad music. Sad music.
Yeah, your mood is all severely dampened, the entire lot of you, from this wonderful playing. It's good fun.
I say that is very good.
I tried.
Deception check.
The performance is so bad, my ring kills him.
I'm pretty sure.
Wait, what do I do?
Nothing, don't worry.
So,
Yeah. What
Botford?
are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Cool.
When
You,
when we load up on the truck, I'm going to say
truck.
on the whatever it is.
Limo.
There's very much changed from a fantasy setting to just current day now. Done. It's official. It's happened.
on the cart, I'm going to say to Sean something like, eyes up, front muscles. I'm going to need you to help me guide us through the forest.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. So as you guys start heading off into the forest, you notice the track just becomes more and more like just it's not really a track anymore. It's just this kind of there's muddy ground. There's different. This is very green and luscious and not at all correct for
It's black.
what it is. Well, yeah, I know that. I haven't got to it yet.
Don't add a token on this screen.
You shouldn't need a token anymore. You should be able to see it. Hopefully.
Is that in the weird corner on its own that I've got a scroll to make it a different placing?
It's a really small picture. I don't know why. It was
Yeah,
not this small before.
I also think you have to move around on the map. I think the right thing. So I can zoom in to like further away from it.
That should bring you guys to it.
Yeah, that's better. I think.
Hopefully.
It is really small.
These trees are tiny.
But yeah. Minuscule
I'm
trees.
moving it for everyone else or just me?
Just you.
Oh. Well,
But yeah, you kind of the pathway kind of devolves from this like at least muddy track to kind of off just grass, mud, all kinds of like mulch and leaves and everything all over. Who is currently guiding the cart, like steering the cart through this?
Me and the Tron.
Cool. So either each or one of you with advantage, you want to make a survival check to kind
I
of
think
try
we
and cart
established.
your way.
You should make it advantage.
Yeah, I think me with advantage is mechanically slightly better, so let's just do that.
So you guys do what you like. That advantage helped. Yeah, you managed to keep relatively on track. You think as you head through this like again quite dense forest, and you get to what you'd assume would be about an hour and a half or so outside of Botford. And you just see parts of the forest. Some of the trees just start being, instead of these luscious green trees of the forest, there's these dead trees, and the grass just has this kind of grey colour to it. And a lot of the bushes and that have no leaves on them, and it just slowly devolves as you pass that threshold, just
Oh,
into this like
this is the way to make the mood worse.
yeah,
Nice
it's
one.
just the forest is dead. Past a certain point, there is no life left in any of the plants in this forest. There is like fungus growing off a bunch of them. This like nasty looking stuff. The ground is just mulch and mud, of just dead leaves and just dead grass. It's not very pleasant. It's also a lot harder to move through. Um, takes you a good it takes you a bit longer to get the cart moving through. This is a couple of times. A couple of you have to jump off and kind of put like sticks and stuff under the wheels to get them moving because they get stuck in the mud. But who is anyone keeping an eye out as you're traveling?
Yeah.
Only on one side.
Once
Right.
again, I'm keeping out as much as Niles takes to ride it, but I'm focused more on the cart and the mules.
One eye or one side of the truck?
If people are, we can do a group perception check, I suppose. Anyone that would like to can roll perception checks.
Oh, as well.
Some all right rolls. So I've got Brandon, Scritch, Gilbert, Sean. Aaron, are you keeping an eye out as well, or are you just chilling on the cart?
He's thinking about how to.
I'll chill in the cart.
You're not going to make a check, no?
No.
Chilling
That's
like
fine.
a villain.
He's finding out the
Chilling
easiest
like
way
a
to kill a
villain.
dog.
Cool. So you guys are making your way through, and you come along onto what almost looks like a normal piece of path again. There's, yeah, and it looks like there's some kind of crossroad, coming up ahead again. Brannon and Sean, though. Sean, you hear this from up front, and Brannon, you also get a gist of it as you're kind of making your way through, trying not to make too much noise, obviously. You do hear what sounds like some kind of movement off to the left of you guys, further down this path. How do you guys react?
I can't really hurry. I forgot what they're called. To move along faster.
What sort of pace are we moving at?
I mean, it's certainly not a quick pace considering the ground you're moving along. You guys, I was assuming you were moving at just a normal movement pace and not like purposely going super stealthy or anything, because that would slow you down.
I'll tap Sean on the shoulder and just like gesture to like slow the horses down. Donkeys, whatever we
slow
have.
the horses down.
Yeah, make an animal handling check to try and slow them down.
Okay.
It's not difficult, but I like to make people roll things.
Sean is very tired as well.
Yeah, they do eventually slow down. It takes a minute as you're moving down this pathway, but they do eventually slow down. If I bring you guys over to, I think I can do this maybe. If I bring you guys over to here, activate this, should bring you guys to this scene.
It's very
I
dark.
can see nothing but my character.
Same.
Oh, that's my bad. 1 second. Global illumination isn't on.
He's put walls everywhere.
Oh, there's also a bird just flew over my head.
Yes.
Wait, in the game?
Hopefully, yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is daytime, so you guys should
Oh,
be
wow,
able to
they're
see
birds.
token vision.
That's so nice. Yeah. That's so cool.
Well, this scene is really setting the mood going.
Horses.
I tried. Yeah, I haven't got an actual cart to put you guys on, unfortunately.
This is what
I
Sean is
imagine
literally feeding
you're
right
on
now.
a cart. But yeah, I thought I'd play around with some of the effects Let's see what I could make funky with it. But yeah, you kind of come up and you hear the noises coming from like this direction over here. And you kind of slow the cart down a little bit, and you actually see coming from that direction what looks to be two giant spiders, and in front of them there's some humanoid spider hybrid looking creature that is kind of leading them almost. What do you guys do as they start to come around this corner?
We've stopped the cart right completely.
You slowed it down, you said.
Oh, I
What
try to stop it.
would you like? Okay,
I could
yeah.
try. Yeah.
The cart stops, yeah.
I'm just gonna. I just sort of pull an arrow back on my bow, just waiting to see what if they react to us in any way.
Yeah, so they step through to this junction, and the spiders and this creature all three of them do notice. And the spiders kind of rear up and kind of gnash their fangs a little bit, and the creature kind of lets out this screech. It seems to be holding this like club, but it lets out this screech, and both the spiders back down and kind of stand behind it instead, and it looks over towards your group and kind of waves its head a little through the air and tries to get a read on you a little bit. And as it does, it starts to begin to like back up over this direction. What are you guys doing?
What language is this? What is it? Do I know what it is? Do I recognise it?
All right, make a nature check for me. Or, I don't know, intelligence of some kind.
Yeah.
That's not bad. You would at least recognise partially. It is an etacat. So it is known to be known as like the shepherd of spiders. They are known to treat spiders as like their flock, and to kind of herd them around. You don't know much more about it than that, though.
Do I know what languages they speak?
You do not. No.
Okay. I can I call out in common and then Sylvan afterwards. We mean you no harm.
The second you call out, the spiders again like rear up slightly, and it screeches out in this kind of guttural tongue that it speaks, and kind of looks a little bit scared of you guys, but certainly has that look of it that it's willing to like defend these spiders if it has to. And then they begin to back off slightly more again, and it kind of looks and points its club towards you guys as it does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding an arrow shot, but I'm not. I'm happy just holding that for the time being.
Can I watch this direction to see nothing comes from this way?
What, from back where they came from?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just looking here.
Yeah, make a perception check for me. Yeah, you don't see anything coming from that direction at all.
Or we can't save the cliff.
Yeah, there is like a bit of a stone cliff in the way, so it's a bit tough. But... you guys happy? Are you just letting them pass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. They do eventually kind of they quite gingerly kind of walk the other way and disappear off down that way. Seemingly not paying you much mind after they leave. You guys just carry on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so.
I will take us back off of this then. There was no need for that. Haha. Look at you guys avoiding encounters.
Hey, I'm learning from Scritch, man.
You gotta learn sometime, you know.
Yeah, I would argue we should probably get some experience for successfully.
I will put some experience.
1,000, roughly.
Remember the way to do it.
Essentially avoiding the encounter.
Say 970 sounds about right to me.
Bring you guys back here again to this.
Yeah, 970 each, I think.
Is that right? Yeah, I'm sure you would think that. To be fair, that was a decent XP based, decent XP's worth of an encounter had you had to fight it. So I will add some XP after this session for you guys to make up for it.
Cool.
But yeah,
Some means 1 XP. Whoa. That's fine.
What?
I trust you.
Shh. Don't worry about. But yeah, you guys managed to kind of make your way through, leaving the Ettercap and its spiders to itself. What did you guys roll for? Do you guys want to do it? Can you do another round of perception checks for me for the next like hour and a half or so before you get to
Yeah.
Botford?
I'm definitely paying more attention now, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That literally sums up my character at the
See?
moment.
Paying more attention.
Yeah,
Can't see over the
My-
edge.
That does sum up my character at the moment.
he's a sad boy. He can't help it. It's hard to see through the tears in your eyes, to be fair. So that's fine. But yeah, Scritch. Luckily, you are paying attention, because you do come across like a few more. If I can sort out, Sorry, I've got a thing, but it's not a very good. Don't really like this. I think I might just end up using like a blank map here, annoyingly, because I found a map earlier when I was prepping. I really don't like it, so I apologise in advance. But at least this one is square. So yeah, you guys kind of make your way down, and Scritch, you swear you hear it first. Just the faintest sound of singing.
When I hear that, I look over to Gilbert, see if he started singing or not.
He has not.
I at that point I'm gonna stop the horses.
And then yeah, Brannon, you start to hear it as well, and this faint sound of some singing.
Singular voice or
Sounds like multiple.
in a language I recognise.
It's difficult to make out what's being sung. It doesn't sound like there's necessarily any actual words being sung. It sounds more just like singing a melody, possibly.
Do I recognise the melody?
Make a nature check for me.
Do I know this melody? I know my music.
I mean, you do know your music, and it is actually something that does catch your attention somewhat once it starts being pointed out. It's very similar, or at least somewhat similar to a song that is sung by harpies in order to lure people to their doom.
This is the magnificent son of a harpy.
What's a harpy?
And it is coming from in front of you.
They're flying wicked witches that eat your brains.
Pretty accurate.
Sounds good.
I would not try talking or negotiating with them. They will try and trick you.
You guys just keep heading along the path
Well,
towards this.
We've stopped. We stopped. So
yeah.
I guess we can have a whispered conversation about what to do.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say if
And
you see a harpy, attack and ask questions later.
I look to somebody else for reassurance that this is the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
Sean just nods, like half awake.
I whisper like about can we try to avoid them?
Yeah.
So is it where is it? Is it it's right in front of us?
Sounds like it's coming from somewhere ahead of you. Yeah.
Can I? I'm going to suggest that I'll go and scout ahead if anybody wants to join me. And as I say it, I kind of look at the biggest member of the party.
If you're doing a stealth mission, he's probably not the best to go with you. If you're gonna go and kill him, he's best to go with you.
Yeah, I like having a backup plan for if stealth doesn't work.
We should stay together.
I guess I go.
Scritch
I guess
does not like the idea of being left with fewer people in the middle of this forest. So he says we should stay together.
Worst comes to worst,
guess
we'll just
I
try
go.
and get her to take off Aaron's ring.
I guess I go.
Cool. So who's going ahead? Are you guys splitting off and going ahead, or
I'm
is everyone?
going.
Well, I'm trying to convince them not to go ahead. I'm trying to convince them to stay with the cart, and we'll move the cart up slowly.
Can we move the cart to the side for it while they look, so we don't move?
What do you mean?
And while they're scouting, can I just cast a cantrip on the cart?
Sure.
I just want to do mending to fix any nooks and crannies in case we may want to run quickly.
What I'm saying is we shouldn't let them go off on their own because it's too dangerous.
I was happy to let him go.
Okay. Well, I argue that we shouldn't. That can be disregarded entirely, but that's what I say. I say that we shouldn't do that.
I'll just cast mending when we pull it over to fix any nooks and crannies on the cart that I probably should have been doing all the time and forgot I had that spell.
It's a thing you can do, yeah.
I'll just do that while they've gone. Doing maintenance on the cart.
I'll just turn to Scritch and I'll just say, like, I feel a lot more comfortable scouting ahead with me in between some trees than I do with a wagon.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable being left alone. Oh,
You can go with him if you want, but
I know. I don't want to go with them either. I think yeah, that's fine. I reluctantly agree.
If anyone's to go with him, if they want to snap, it would be me or the rogue, but I'm gonna stay and mend the cart.
I'll go.
So Sean and Brannon, you're going ahead, are you?
Yeah.
The rest of you guys are staying behind.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
Do I
that.
need to do a stealth check?
Yeah, if the two of you are sneaking up towards this noise, yeah, both make stealth checks for me.
Why did I take you, Muscles? Seriously.
I mean, he's got inspiration if he wants to reroll.
Can I reroll with advantage?
Yeah, you can make a second roll. Take whatever's higher. Interesting. Yeah, that'll do it. So yeah, you do have to cross off your advantage on your sheet, but or
How do
your
I cross
inspiration.
off?
Sorry, I think just clicking it
Oh,
again
there.
should make it go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are superbly sneaky as you make your way up.
That gave Sean a boost of energy.
As you make your way up, and you start to hear the song a lot clearer.
What's the song? What's the song?
Again, it's just it's this beautiful melody. It's almost entrancing with how beautiful
melody?
it is. I am not gonna sing it for you because your eardrum will break.
Just hum Hey Jude.
Nothing could be worse than something else that I've heard.
Once you get close enough to be able to hear it properly, Sean and Brannon, you do both need to make, I think, a wisdom saving throw, please. As you get
My
close enough to
wisdom.
hear it properly. Oof. So Brannon, you're okay. You kind of feel that the song like pierce into your brain almost, but you shake it off and you kind of clear your mind. As you do, you watch Sean just stand there, just blank. His eyes just go wide, and then he just starts walking towards the source of the noise.
He starts becoming sad again.
Just starts straight walking. Gives up on the stealth approach and just starts walking.
Can I? Have I got time to try and hang on one second? Let me check my. Yeah, I didn't think I had a rope on me. Can I? I'm assuming I won't be able to, but can I just try and sort of grab him and restrain him or anything?
Sure. Make a strength. Make a athletics check. And Sean, I need you to make an athletics check. Be opposed. Yeah, you are unable to hold him back, and he just shoulders straight through your grip and continues walking towards the source of this sound.
I hate when that bird's right. How far ahead are we of the wagon?
You guys had got maybe 100 feet
Oh
in
Christ!
front of the
Okay,
wagon.
fine, you win, Charlie.
Uh,
Do I see them just like trance off? So I kind of tell that it's like trance off, or is it like too far away?
It's quite
Sounds like it's too
thick
far away.
forest. It's quite thick forest at this point. So it's probably difficult to actually see too far. You can possibly just about see the shapes of them, but
Yeah, but I couldn't
not
tell
enough
that they.
to tell what's happening.
Can
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah, so I can't even really see the wagon either to signal back properly. Fuck. Okay.
No, you could. I mean, with a pretty swift move, you'd be able to get back in line of sight a bit.
Yeah, I'm not keen on walking away from muscles whilst these go in the other direction. Hang on. Let me think if I've got any good suggestion here.
Try again, please. Save me.
I feel like just making another strength check is a bit cheap, so no, I'm not going to do that. I don't really think I have any other good.
You wrote.
Sean, can you make another wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Please be good.
Probably wish to save your inspiration for this.
Same how that worked out, isn't it?
I follow him. I don't feel comfortable running back to everyone else and leaving him on his own. I'll follow behind him, like 10 feet behind or so, just like trying to see what's happening.
Yeah, and he seems to just be making like just a beeline, just walking straight in a straight line through like a lot of this hedge and like shrubbery, like the dead shrubbery that's there. He's just walking straight to trampling most of it as he does.
No change in the singing, it's just carry on as it was.
No, you just hear that same like beautiful singing voice. Sean, can you make another wisdom saving throw for me? There is a moment of clarity washes across your mind as you're trampling through this forest towards the source of this sound. And you stop and you're confused. You can't work out why you were walking. That sound in your head, that singing is almost muffled now, and you can't quite work out why it forced you to do that. You are, however, within about 30 feet of a group of 3 harpies. So I'm going to roll an initiative and activate this blank battle map and pull you guys over. So, Brannon, you were about 20 feet behind him, right?
Yeah.
Approximately. Cool. Well, I'm going to roll everyone an initiative. I think I've got the distance there about right.
Yeah.
How do I do this again? This. I believe that one adds everyone. Yes. And then roll.
That was loud.
That was so loud. That made me jump.
So many dice. But yeah, I will, I guess, put us into. Ah, that was loud. Sorry.
That was loud.
That was very loud. Put us into initiative order. Are you guys on the cart have no idea what's going on at the moment? Just that they've wandered off. All 3 harpies get a turn as they are near and see this Goliath step towards them. Brannon, you're still stealthing, I assume.
Yeah, unless you're going to say otherwise.
No. You can definitely still be stealthing. That's not a problem. But these harpies kind of see, and you get a good look at them now. Now that you can see, and they are just these. They're humanoid, but they have these enormous black feathered wings that look almost like they're dripping this black, like ooze almost from them, and they've got just this long matted hair and just rags that they're wearing. and they're just stood in these trees, just singing this beautiful song out into like the forest. But as soon as Sean kind of snaps out of that hold, that charm that they had over him, you see them just dart their eyes straight onto him and just screech, and you see their mouths open. There's this wide maw of like fangs, and just the wings spread wide, and this kind of black, just dark ooze begins to just spray off of the side of them. And to be honest, looking at the time, I think that might well be where we pick up next week. 'Cause it is
I accept that this is my
9
fault.
minutes to 10. And that is likely to be at least some amount of combat, which is probably going to take more than 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and say that is where we'll leave it for this week.
Cool.
And we'll pick up with the consequences of your actions next week.
What's the one golden rule of D&D?
Don't split the party.
Exactly.
I don't agree that this is splitting the party, to be fair. Like,
No, I don't.
Splitting the
Yeah,
party means
Splitting
going
the party
through
is
different
going to
things.
two
Like,
different sections of a town or something.
stealthy
Yeah.
rogue scouting ahead. Like,
Stealthy rogue scouting is very good.
Yeah, no, I know.
Taking the large Goliath, questionable, but still
Maybe.
not a terrible idea.
Squitch was mostly just scared.
unfortunate. Yeah, to also then fail the save.
I wrote down in my journal, never trust sneaky rogue.
well, maybe you'll meet your wife soon.
Oh, wow.
I'm interested. Did the singing change at all? Has singing changed at all for us? From what we've heard?
You guys would have heard that screech.
Yeah.
That incredibly loud screech you definitely would have heard.
Right. Okay.
So
that might be okay then, because we
I'm
might
going
be
to
actually.
leave. Goodbye now.
goodbye.
I'm going to leave.
Good night, Cormac.
Good night.
Good,
Okay,
good
no,
job,
right.
everyone.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Hope everyone has fun talking about D&D.
I'm gonna go. I'm too upset.
Let's talk about not D&D. So the harpy screeched on its turn, right?
Once Sean snaps out of it and initiates this combat, they immediately let out that huge screech and stop their singing.
I'm just wondering, like, if Aaron he could have taken a turn to start running towards it.
Yeah, probably could have a turn. Yeah, we will.
Yeah, that's all.
Start with that next.
What I plan to do on my turn is probably to run towards my friends.
Yeah, I assume as much.
I will more plod my way there because I'm not the fastest of people.
But yeah, I thought that was quite fun.
Yeah, it was a fun session. Yeah.
I'm enjoying this campaign quite a lot.
I thought that was some fun in-character role-playing from everyone. I was quite impressed. And I think everyone will have an inspiration for next week.
Yeah, I wanted to take the opportunity to try to do some of that more like round the campfire chatting roleplay that I think we sort of didn't ever really got to do too much.
I'm really glad you did because
SKT.
that was fun. That was very fun.
Oh, I can get in route of a healing spell like instantly. I can see them.
Excellent. We'll hold you to that.
Yeah.
Then.
I might try and get a better
Unless you
map
move forward.
for next week, but
I can't.
obviously it is foresty terrain, but it's easy enough to move around still.
If I can see you, I can heal you when I do my turn.
Yeah.
If you move forward a tiny bit, I can't.
But yeah.
Cool. Nice one. Thank you, Jake. That was fun.
What?
Really good, yeah.
Obviously, I'll sort out some XP for everyone for like RP and for avoiding giant spiders.
Kind.
But yeah, cool. I'm gonna vanish anyway.
No sweat.
See you later.
Yeah, I'll see you guys Wednesday.
Farewell,
Yeah,
folks.
see you Wednesday.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Good night.